in shadows they smirk. Down in the rivers, out in the seas, masters of the deep, dolphin mysteries. Bottlenose freaks, short beaks in the night, humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true, rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty, ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks, underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, their counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those outside. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. Well, I tried giving as much as I could. They locked me up. They published it, paid me.
Illuminati, deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin. Illuminati, in the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin. Illuminati, it's that dolphin. Illuminati, deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin. Illuminati, in the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin.
I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. Bitch, wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I whip that beat out like Michael Obama.
We already have it with
I got that
Obama.
big
So
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip them thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big, big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got that clip, bitch. Hung like a llama. I'll whip that dick out. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches, its clicks getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not self-rich. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches, its clicks getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not self-rich. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. leaky, leaking out your dome into a ditch. You wish the simulation hadn't glitched. You wanna be rich, but not so self-rich.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracies, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up your Friday night. It's Secret Society of Good Guys, sans Thomas, because he has a Comic-Con tomorrow. But we are
Yay.
here, and who knows, we could have special guests swing in. You never know what we're up to. But everyone, wherever you find us, if you're on Rumble or if you're on the Secret Society of Good Guys YouTube page, thank you so much for hanging out silently. To our new X audience, we are trying to all be more active over there. And for some reason, this streaming platform, Restream, the comments don't come up. And I have heard that StreamYard is better. So Restream, you're on notice. We're probably
You're on
heading on over to
fucking notice.
StreamYard within the month. And
You
our
know what?
favorite
The-
chat in the whole world, real quick.
Mhm.
The Project Chaney chat on YouTube, if you want to hang out with the smartest chat on the planet, do make sure, smartest and most dangerous chat on the planet, do make sure you go over and find them. So all that said, hi ladies, happy Friday.
Hi,
Friday.
hello. I like the idea of switching over to StreamYard. I liked it more than I do this for some reason.
Well, there is a feature on there that I didn't know about
Uh-huh.
until after,
Uh-huh.
but I do think I like it. Like there's a corrective what's it called, Abbie?
The face touch up?
Yeah, there's
Face
like a
touch-up? Yeah.
face touch up,
Face touch up.
and you can put how much percentage you want.
Yeah,
it
I
to
can't
touch
do
you
like
up.
100%. That makes me feel too fake. Like, they're like, "This is good. Yeah, we'll do that."
Yeah,
I
just
always
like
get
straighten up
nervous
the
because of the
lines and
people I
shit.
see in real life. I'm like, I want to somewhat look like myself in real life, and them not be like, "Oof, you look great on TV," and not so great.
See, I feel like I look so much better in person than I do like
Same.
in 2D. So
Same.
I feel silly all the time.
Stop. No, you
I
don't.
do too,
I
but I'm
just feel
just saying.
silly. I just have a silly. It's fine. It's just like my inner monologue is a little goofy, and it just sometimes the way people are like, I can't believe we live this life and drive this car and have to pay these taxes. Sometimes I'm like, I can't believe we have heads with eyeballs that see each other and noses that smell, and then like my nose looks different than your nose. Do they do the same job? How much does my nose have to do with how good I sing? How much
Yeah.
does my nose have to do with like how I dream? If they say like all your memories are so attached to scent, what about if somebody's just farting in my sleep? What are they doing to my dreams and my memories? I don't know. This is the stuff
Judy's
that
on
goes
one.
on.
Fart
Yeah.
dust.
So
Fart dust particles.
I am on one. So what's been
Yeah.
going on this week with
Honestly,
y'all?
there's just like a lot of with us. I'm off.
Yeah, personally, what's going on?
I'm off of work. And it's been great. I've been at the restaurant yesterday because I'm taking my week, like serious. I want to like actually fucking rest. But interesting things. Okay, here's a personal story. Okay, I went out one night to this pool hall and played pool with some friends and whatever. And this man came in, it's like tall, 6'7", like kind of built like, nerdy looking, but like built, just like a sexy nerd. Okay, put it that way. He walks in and like automatically, like his eyes were just like zoom, like he saw me and he was like, whoa, So listen to this. He's been coming by in this town in hopes of catching me out somewhere so we can hang out, and like not actually like asking, hey, would you like to like meet up somewhere? No, 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 no. He'll go to wherever I was or wherever we met initially in hopes that I'd be there. But I'm like, no, I'm not out and I'm in bed. I'm not going to get ready and I'm not going to get out. But he's been doing that recently. And I'm just like, why are men not like the same anymore? Why won't you ask a girl out? Instead of like hoping that you'll see her someplace, you have her number. Why don't you text her? So yeah, this is what I'm dealing with this week. A
Oh,
man
he
hope.
has your number?
Yeah, he has my number.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you think, Abby? What's that sound
I
mean?
Like, what the fuck?
I'm just saying, like, because my thought is like, okay, maybe he just, was like taking it slow and hoping to run into you again, so he didn't ask for your number, or he didn't get a chance to before he left, something like that. But the fact that he has your number, that's stupid.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what is that
yay.
about? And I said it, I'm
It
like,
is gay. What
yeah.
are we
Okay.
doing here?
But
Like,
honestly, can I just tell you, this guy's character is just such a silly, like nerdy, like I am the
fan
black
of nerd. Like, I think I'm a nerd. Like, that would be definitely one of the traits that I would use to describe myself and like the things I'm into.
yeah.
So I
Like,
think that's
he's
Nerd is
like
interesting.
hot.
nerdy, sexy, like tall, like cute guy, but like so silly. And like I'm the black cat and he's like the golden retriever and he's just like smitten type of like doesn't know how to act, it's just a goofball. I'm just like, this is like the type of guy that I would like to, be with, like like a sweet, nerdy, like cute guy, but could protect me at the same time. But I don't know. He's just like, why won't you text me and say, hey, would you like to meet up? But like, I'm in bed and you're like, hey, I'm here in hopes of like finding you here. What are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, like, can we just make plans? Why can't men do that?
I'm not a huge fan of Lizzo, but that song Truth Hurts is kind of a great song. And I always get things like I'm last to the party when it comes to pop songs.
Uh,
But it just dawned on me in the last maybe like month of time that she says, why men great till he gotta be great. And I'm like, that is so true. And it could be about it could be about women too. It just happens to be about why a man great till he gotta be great. Like, why is the idea of all of us sometimes, or the idea of this perfect romance or this perfect thing that you want,
better than the
why
real thing.
yes. And so it's like, why are all of us so great till we gotta be great? And then everybody's like sitting there in their whatever they're wishing for. They're sitting over there in their singledom or their coupledom or whatever the opposite of what they want is. And they're like, oh, if I was in that other thing, I would be like a number one. I would be off the bench. I would be like an all-star. They never show up like that. Nobody ever shows up like that.
Oh, and he was in the Air Force too. And I'm just like,
Uh,
yeah, it's like, oh my God, this guy's just like a proper fucking guy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And the same time, I'm like, this is weird. It's just fucking weird.
look at what the next part of that song really is too. Why a
What?
man great till he gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face.
Perfect.
So maybe shout out to Lizzo and
Maybe
her
he's
weight
trying to tell
loss.
it straight to your face then. Maybe he's trying to talk to you in person.
What do you guys think about that silly movie? Like, he's just not that into you.
I love that
um,
movie.
But don't you
yeah,
think there's so much truth to it?
So
yeah,
much truth to it. Yeah.
And I don't think it's just about men. I'm like, if somebody
Period.
wants to spend time with you, they make all the effort in the world to spend time with you.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they show you exactly how important that is right away.
yeah.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, hey, I have this little bit of time for you at this pool hall. You around? You were fun to fill this pool hall time with.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just, I don't know. Dating is weird. I've been so out of it for so long. And I'm just like, this is so weird. There's one guy that I went on a date with. Finally, like a man asked me out. Like they had the courage to, because I'm very picky and they know it. Yeah, he's the guy that's like, hey, I want to take you out again. Hey, I want to, but it's not there. But again, I'm probably not giving him a chance. So I don't know. I'm trying to be open, guys. I'm trying to like, test the waters a little bit. Just kind of put
and
my
break
toes
your
in.
own, Three Eyes is like Chaney's an NPC. And I think that's like a big deal. Sometimes breaking your own script, whatever the script is that you're typically on, or you're like, my type. Everybody's like, Layla, that's not your type. Like, that's not your type. What is our type? Like,
I think the type is silly. Like, I've never had a type.
no, it is kind of silly. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
A type.
you're limiting
Well, some
yourself.
girls have a
Yeah.
type. I will say that. Like
Well,
they're
so do men.
stuck on this
Yeah.
one like idea, like I want this and that's it. Like I get those type of women, but like actual women who are looking for a real thing, they don't have a type when it comes to that. It's a feeling. It's a spark. It's a man, I just want to be next to this guy. I don't care like if we don't even say anything. I just want to be around his presence.
I want to be on
I
you.
have a type now.
Or and you and
Financially
me.
secure, emotionally like not challenged, and a very good communicator. That's my type now.
Yeah.
A good communicator.
Yeah.
I'm bad
It's
at it.
key.
It really is.
Communication is so key. Like, to a longevity of any relationship. I don't care if it's a person that you have sex with or not. I don't care if it's just your bestie. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's just your coworker. Communication's key.
But I don't
Like-
like this form of communication, Chaney, because here's the thing that I'm
What
noticing
form
with
of
this form of
communication?
it's fucking texting, and like in the beginning, everyone's like on their phone all the time and like, oh my God, excited. And then you finally get into this relationship with that person, and then you start seeing, oh my God, he's not texting me anymore the way he used to. Why isn't he blah blah blah? Da, 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 da. Like this is why I'm bad at communication, because I hate the whole texting thing. I don't want to text. I don't want to talk all day. When I see you, I want to talk, because I want to have something to say when I'm sitting in front of the person, instead of like, like when can I see you, and like blah, 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 and just like talk bullshit. No, I'd rather talk to your face, with you, in your presence, in your energy, so I can know if it's real or not.
But that by good communication, I don't even mean texting.
For me.
But I'm just saying it's not even
Yeah.
texting. It's literally like if I'm sitting there and I'm like the man says something to me and it triggers me, and my normal response is to be passive aggressive and not say shit. And he could say, "What's wrong?" And I'll be like, "Nothing." You know, that's not good communication. Like, good
Yeah.
communication is, I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong. You might not like it, but this is what's wrong. And then
Yes.
you can actually react and you can fix it. But I want a partner in my life that's willing to go that extra mile with me and talk about uncomfortable things. And so we can work through it, instead of
Yes.
we pretend like everything's fine, but we haven't talked for 11 fucking years. We don't really even know each other. You don't know shit about me because we don't fucking talk. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anymore. So it's not about texting. It's literally about, can we be on the same level? Can we sit there and like work through issues? Can we actually talk about real things? Can we, all of that? So that's what I mean. It's not like frequency of texting and all of that. It's literally, is that person there for you, and are you there for them? Are you showing up and saying the hard things too?
Shout out to all the audience. If you feel like hitting the thumbs up, we are going to talk about Hollywood. We are going to talk about conspiracies. We're going to be here for hours, you guys. We're just catching up.
I'm
Like,
probably not, though. I'm gonna
well,
tell the
Abbie's
truth.
not going to be there until the whole end, because she is moving tomorrow. She has like a whole big day. And again, shout out to Thomas, Paranoid American. He does have a Comic-Con tomorrow. So he is indisposed, and we miss him. So
He is
we
a
haven't hung out
badass.
with Thomas for too many days. I have little communication with him, like too little communication for our normal friendship over the last few days. So I miss Thomas, and I can't wait to hang
Yeah.
out.
We
So
miss you. Just
yeah,
FYI.
shout out to Paranoid American. And we
And
are gonna.
guys, I am not Hawk Tua. Thank you very much.
You don't spit on that
Oh my
thing.
God. Now you mentioned it. Watch that fucking coin go up again.
You don't spit on that thing.
Well, That's not the point of what she said. Abbie low-key ain't white. She found out she's part Jew.
Like, you found out you're
Totally.
Ashkenazi Jew.
Yeah. No,
Ashkenazi.
I'm 0%.
How do you know? Did you get a DNA test and figure out you
Yeah,
were
way back
100% that
when.
witch?
Yep.
I just took a DNA test. Is that Lizzo song again? Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. I think we're accidentally gonna kill fucking Lizzo tonight.
I hope. That would be great.
She's gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, shit, no. Okay, y'all.
What?
The Hollywood Hills are on fire.
I love it. But I mean, I don't love what's happening to people, but at the same time, I love what's happening to Hollywood. But at the same time, no, because they're burning their evidence.
That's what I think is happening. I think it's about like they're all about to fucking go down, and they're like, "Oh, we better hide the fucking tunnels."
You don't
and all the
think
shit's down
Hollywood
there.
was built to burn? Like, it's
Yeah.
Hollywood, and it's after we've been talking about the last few weeks on the show, like the ritual of Christmas and the 12 days of Christmas that follow the actual Christmas day and then Epiphany Day. And so doesn't it make total sense? You and I have been talking about for a few weeks how it like burning of the Christmas tree afterward was such a cleansing thing, and that felt like
Yeah.
right to do, even though all these other things sometimes felt weird to do. Burning of the tree after felt like a really cleansing thing. And so then you have a holly, which what is holly if not representative of everything we know? But also the holly bush is very like alchemical and very like it's heathen. It's even like some people think the evergreen that Nimrod's holding is a holly bush, but I think it's the holly that it's super conductive, like maybe the most conductive plant, and the spine of it all lights up if it's struck by lightning. Like castles
Ooh.
and stuff will put holly bushes around to like absorb some of the electromagnetic energy. But I think everybody always talks about the wand being made from holly in like a enchanting spell. If you were to maybe even be media, if you were to kind of do these things. So Hollywood, in my opinion, like the Twin Towers, was built to destroy. We're just watching the end of the ritual play out.
It's that, and also I guess it's like the reset. So it's like the future generation of what this world will look like for the next 100 years is being restructured. So these 15-minute cities and their plan on how they want us to live is being rebuilt in America. So little by little, with the floods and the tornadoes and the this and the that, because it's all controlled, obviously. There's technology out there. That's also part of their plan. And what we're seeing in politics also, the same people that we saw for 50 years, their offspring, transfer everything over to the next generation of their offspring. That's all that's happening, really. Setting them up for the next 100 years. I think that's what's going on.
Who was it? One of the celebrities like shared their their family's GoFundMe or whatever. And I'm like, don't tell me these houses weren't fucking insured, motherfuckers. Come on.
Well, there's a whole thing. I think a month or two before people were even like
Oh, there
buying
was something about
houses,
insurance, huh?
they like cut off the fire
Dink,
insurance.
dink, dink. It's
Yeah.
giving
Oh,
Lahana
Abbie.
vibes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Sorry.
Like houses burning and trees
Do
all
you have a bunch of
standing,
kids missing too?
all standing trees, but the houses burnt to a crisp.
And I hear people, like I hear assholes online legitimately like, I'm sorry you guys don't understand how fires work. Sometimes there's water and moisture inside trees and those trees stay. I'm like,
Shut the fuck up.
are you talking about
Yeah.
Los Angeles that has a huge drought because of a fish? Like you guys really won't allow water into your whole thing because of a fish? And
So fucking stupid.
and then it's like, okay, maybe I'll go along with you with all of your fire science with trees have water in them and so they don't burn. Then do explain why that metal hubcap is melted to molten. Please do
you.
explain again. And You
Even
know,
eggs.
it makes me wonder, like, how much money does, if they're trying to like fleece the coffers before they go. And we know the Pelosi family and like the Bidens, and we always heard about the Bidens in Ukraine and all the stuff on Hunter's laptop, and then we watched just freaking money after money after money go to Ukraine, just trillions of dollars to Ukraine. Well, we also know that Newsom is like Pelosi's nephew. And so don't they want to fleece out all this money? And isn't Paul Pelosi Jr. and Paul Pelosi, didn't they have all these business deals with China and a high-speed rail to go up with all this stuff on fire? So it's like, here we are again on the loop. And everyone's like, it's just I can't get down with the idea when people are like, this is so on the nose. Well, it's on the nose for you because you've literally been looking into it for fucking 6 years. Like, I hope it's fucking on the nose. It's all
Yeah.
you've been looking into for the last 6 years of your life. I hope at this point you figured out symbolism, that you're like, up, another false flag, so on the nose. Those idiots don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing everything because now you have the eyes to see it. Like, everybody's assuming that the masses have the eyes to see it. And so it's just like, how many movie sets are in Hollywood? And not just the movie sets they show us, but like in the hills that are burning right now. Jared Leto's house where they like film the moon landing.
You also the fact who owns most of the water around there? I forgot the name. There's this a family that owns most of the water reserves. And for some reason, they can't get water to where it needs to, because instead of sending the water to the fire hydrants, they're sending it somewhere where the water can get to, because apparently the fires are affecting how the water is getting to these places, and it's not making sense, y'all. This is all fucking conjured up. It's so wild. It's fucking wild. They even control the water.
They
They were
control
saying
all
no
of it.
water. Yeah, they were saying no water. We don't have any water. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder.
And I also think an interesting part is that we keep hearing about Greenland and Canada. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a new world order. I don't
Mm.
want to be a union with all of these places. So when people are like, yeah, we should make this place another state and we should make this place another state, like, how about they just do them?
Yeah.
How about we don't need our fucking dirty ass federal government involved in anything? How about they just do them?
Well, I do
Yeah.
like the idea of changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That's the only thing I agree with. Just change that.
Well, I didn't want to be cunty about it, but I'm like, can we just call it the Gulf of Florida?
Ooh, that's even better.
I
Or
didn't want to be
Florida Gulf.
cunty. I was like, no offense, federal government and the rest of
Yeah.
y'all, but can't we just call it and why is the Gulf in there at all? Can't we just call it the World Trade Center? Because that's what I think it originally
That's
was.
what it is. A lot of world trade happening there.
Yeah, it's weird that Tampa has one of the natural deep water and tunnels, more tunnels. But what do you think? Like the Getty, they saved the Getty. Like these certain celebrities' houses, like they saved Tom Hanks's house.
Yeah. I was like, of course they saved Tom Hanks's house.
But wouldn't that be kind of rad? Like you guys are saying, they're burning the evidence, and then the news lets out, just so you guys know, Tom Hanks's house is
We
saved.
made sure we saved it.
And he's
So
like,
you guys are validated.
why? Like, why my
Yeah.
yeah, he's in Greece right now. Like, shit, we paid extra money to have that motherfucker burn.
Burn, motherfucker, burn. Has anyone paid attention if the blue things survived in the fires?
Oh, yeah, I did see that too. Like they were showing a picture of a certain celebrity's house, and all of the blue trash cans out front all were completely fine.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of the fires were caused by the smart meters that were all changed, out of nowhere,
Thank you
out of
for
the
bringing
blue.
that up.
Yep, smart meters are definitely, I would say, torches to internally burn your house to a crisp. That's what it is. The whole design of it, Like literally, if a fire were to combust at the meter wires that are connected into your house will all catch on fire and internally burn inside out.
And that was what was happening before. That
Mhm.
it's just like,
And
and
explosions.
it came out before that none of that was a conspiracy. Like everything you're talking about was 100% proven that PGE or something ended up coming out and being like, or not PGE, was it whatever they ended up coming out and being like, oopsie, our smart meters were lighting all the houses on fire, but they
And
did it all
exploding.
quietly.
Mhm. There's a bit. How many houses this past year alone, exploded out of nowhere? You guys remember all the news articles and all the videos of all these houses randomly exploding? And you're saying gas leaks? I don't believe that for a second. They could just push a button. Ding, ding,
Was that why we're
ding,
getting rid of gas
ding,
stoves?
ding.
Huh. That is curious too. Are any kids going missing like in Maui with this whole situation in California?
Well,
That's what I asked earlier.
everyone's worried about like all the fire, but
We
people
probably
need
won't
to
know till it's
worry
out
about.
more, and then they'll be like, "Oh, these kids are missing."
No, well, it's gonna happen for sure. Like now is okay, the fires are happening, but what's even scarier is that emergency services are not gonna be helping people right now. So robberies, rapes, killings, murders, better believe it's like a purge happening out there. Food sources, water sources, like strap up people, protect yourself. It's like do or die.
What do you think? Like one of the reasons when I lived in Los Angeles, I came here to help my mom with a surgery, and there was like hurricane after hurricane. It took me forever to get back home, but I saw what happened to people in an emergency. I'd never been in an emergency like that before in my life, where it was like, oh my gosh, a natural disaster where the world shut down, like power without for weeks. And then it's like right when everything kind of gets back together, another one. And then it was just like too much. And then it's like all the resources that were coming to help us. And then Charlie, it was like, big things were going down. And I was thinking, ooh, Los Angeles. No one's from Los Angeles. No one really cares. Like their people aren't from Los Angeles. Everybody's a transient to the place. And everybody would just try to get out. And to get out of LA, eventually you have to hit the Death Valley. And that would be right about the time everyone would run out of gas. Like it's almost like built to catch everybody from leaving. Everywhere around LA is desert. And so it's just like there's not enough food, there's not enough water in the close. And so I was just sitting in there and I'm like, Chaney, you should leave
Technically,
this
they're
city
like an
right
island,
now.
right?
You should get out of this city right now. Like you shouldn't wait for the thing that they're going to do.
Yeah. And you have a good point. You always mention the fact that having a community is so important, especially in situations like this, whether it's in a room like an X space or here or whatever. Having a community where you actually live, and Chaney says it all the time, is so fucking crucial. And you can't have that in a big city. Yeah, you might have your neighbors in your apartment building, but it's not the same compared to like knowing everyone in your like 5-block radius and walking up and down the street and getting to know your neighbors and like coming up with a plan like, hey, like for shits and giggles, like what if there were a fucking tsunami to come or an earthquake or XYZ? Does this town have a plan? Or if it doesn't, should we come up with one just in case? Ha ha ha, wink, 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 and make it a joke, but like be serious at the same time. Like you never know.
Well,
So
it's like these things when we were growing up and when we were kids, if there was an emergency, there was enough adults around that if somebody needed to pick you up from school, like they could pick you up from school and get you where you needed to go if your parents or if something went down. I almost think now with all of this stuff going on, they have everybody so segregated from each other and
yeah.
everybody's friends are online or far away. Like, Abbie's moving and I'm like, if me and Layla lived closer, we would be
Yeah.
tape, done,
No men
done.
needed.
No, it would be like we'd be sitting on egg crates at Abbie's new apartment doing this show right now, and it would be perfect.
And it's
But
literally me and my 17-year-old daughter, almost 17-year-old daughter, doing pretty much all of it. But
Girl, I feel you on that.
and so that it's just these kind of things. If shit were to hit the fan, imagine if the world lit on fire by you. And that's, you know, like, is there gas? Can gas make it in? Can gas trucks make it in that they're not already gone? Because in Florida, even in a small town, gas goes quick.
Yep.
So in a place like LA, New York, Chicago, these city centers, can you even get out of town?
They can't get out of town. Yeah, they're all
New
stuck.
York City, they'll shut the bridges real quick. Remember 9/11? No one was in or out after a while. After a period of
Remember I
time,
Am
they shut
Legend?
everything down.
They
I
shut the
know.
bridges down too.
I have a
It's
U-Haul
fucking
truck. It's like
wild.
fucking Tank Girl. Like things are
I'm
like
driving to your house
there's like
tomorrow.
a like
You know, I'm surprised we didn't have a blackout during this whole entire like freeze
we aren't here
happening.
yet. We aren't even close. I just
I
think
thought-
look
You
at
guys
how
are
it's
freezing
already
there?
heated up from 11/4 or 11/5 from the election. You guys, it has this snowball of like of constant chaos has gotten tighter and bigger. Like the amount of stuff that they're doing to us every day, and it also keeps coming up that Hollywood burns. They're also supposed to have the Olympics in 2028. It is curious because on the day, one of the days of the 12 days of Christmas is 5 golden rings, and so that's the day Jimmy Carter died. So LA is also going to get the Olympics in 2028. What a perfect time to show off the 50-minute city. What a perfect time for Hollywood
yeah.
to show you what they do for the world to see. Like, look how clean the crime problem, and look at the LA before, the LA that Joe Rogan and Elon Musk had to leave to move to Austin. Just
Everyone wants to be
people
here.
jerking off and shitting on the streets in between your sidewalk and the road. Like, it's just chaos. It looks like Zombieville. Now they're going to show us all clean, futuristic city.
Are they though? Because on the same day that they were asking for help from the government, Joe Biden sent billions of dollars to fucking Ukraine. So is that 15-minute city dream gonna happen?
Well, did you see? Yeah.
Trump is coming into office, so never mind. Let me
But
shut the
then
fuck
Joe
up.
Biden is like, we're going to pay for 100% of the rebuilding of Southern California. You didn't see him come out and say that?
No.
100%.
And did they do anything for North Carolina and all that?
Shocker. Shocker.
Absolutely fucking not. Sending FEMA that was broke.
But if you really want to collapse, you know, federal government.
That's wild. This is going to be a huge land grab. Like all those people will not have their homes anymore. They will say, I'm sorry, but yeah, you bought that house. Yeah, you think that's your land. It's not your land. You don't own it. It's all conditional.
Do you remember when Obama sold the port of Long Beach to China? And then Trump came in and got it back and was like, nah, dog. Like, that's one of the things, like Nancy Pelosi, the amount of, that's what, to me, the DNC, the C stands for China. C space I space A. H and N. Fill those in. China. It's like, I just think China, China, China. But I know there's also other villains involved. Did you guys see Zuckerberg on Rogan?
No, I didn't. I saw his face. I'm like, I want to fucking
clips.
see his face. I should have watched it though.
Saw him talking about how Biden silenced or like was silencing them about or making them silence any posts about vaccinations and stuff.
How do they make
I just
you
said the
do
word.
that though?
I know we're on YouTube, which is still Bill Gates. And so it's like,
not allowed to say that.
I will tell you, since I got the Church of Hollywood hashtag back by saying, hey, Zuck, give me the Church of Hollywood hashtag back. And then I have it back. Everybody, you can go search the Church of Hollywood. And some of it's real good work. Some of it, I'm just making myself
Where did
laugh.
you say that? On X, or did you say it?
I wrote it on an X post. Or I'm sorry, I wrote it on an Instagram post. And I put something up and I'm like, hey, since you guys are saying Pizzagate in the news, can go ahead, since everything's proven that I'm right, can I go ahead and have this fucking hashtag back? And they gave it back to me. So
I wish you would have sent me that post. It was on your story or on
it's
your
all
page?
on my stories. My whole grid is there, and I actually felt very Britney grid about it, because when Church of Hollywood comes up, if you look at the grid, right in the middle of it is the Hollywood sign, but instead of saying Hollywood, it says it's all of them, and it looks like it's on fire. And so it felt like a big huge spell. And so I felt like, ooh, I felt like summer. I was going to go blind. I felt like, oh my gosh, I did meme magic and got my hashtag back. This is
Ooh,
crazy.
I'm
Anyways.
telling you.
So at Zuck, he was sitting there on Rogan with his young man hair now, acting like he isn't LifeLog in the CIA. And like, well, we were being pushed on by the Biden administration to do all this stuff. It was really, we were being pushed on. And, but when there was this one thing about a vaccine and when it went out, we were like, but that is true. And it's just like hearing him. It was like, this is a whole bunch of words. And Joe isn't smart enough to be the one to have this conversation. Like sometimes he needs to have, like, he has 2 comedians on sometimes or protect your parks. It's like, if you're going to get a sit down interview with like a homie like him, why don't you have like somebody who's smart in this rhetoric and bullshit that he's talking about?
Yeah.
Because you're not. I don't know.
Everybody's gonna see through it. Exactly.
Big 404 RWA.
Ask
Thank
the
you
hard
very
questions.
much.
I don't know if you're and you should bring some Sasquatch facts. If you're going to talk about big, you should bring some Bigfoot facts to the show just randomly and be like, big fact of the day.
Big facts of the day. You should buy some big because we are having poker nights and we are going to have grand prize winners. So if you hold Bigfoot coins, you can enter this
But it's not
tournament.
just any Bigfoot.
No. This is our Bigfoot. This is a 404 RWA. I'm learning all the terminology. I'll get there. Okay. I don't know much of these terminologies.
But not ours, but Layla
Yeah.
and her peeps. It's not
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, no, you're part of it. You guys were part of it. You guys were part of the whole launch and everything. So you're part of the big family. And it's growing. And eventually it'll get to the point, hopefully, where I don't want to call them out, but these fucking Doginal boys, these scammers. I don't want to say it, but hopefully it'll get to that level, but not in the scamming sense, because this community is so fucking awesome. Like the realness in this community is just, I'm loving it. I'm loving the unity with all these other communities that we're bringing together. So it's just growing. But yeah, we're going to have a tournament soon. I don't know what the grand prize is yet, but I think it's going to be big numbers. So
well,
just
I think
expect
just
big things
for this show, you should bring some interesting Sasquatch or Bigfoot information about it, and then say this stuff. But you should also, because I like that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being, and that makes the most amount of sense. Is that Bigfoot's kind of coming through portals?
Well, there's this whole video of this man.
And shout out to your little squad. I will say, I look at a lot of NFTs out there. I'm an NFT nerd, and I like art just in general. Like I'm an art nerd, and I like all kinds of art. I like graphic art. I like whatever. I think the NFTs are really cute, and I'm a sucker for like wizards and shit, like that
shout
kind
out
of
to
stuff.
Pup.
So
shout out to Pup.
I think that's pretty cute. Anyway, so if you're into NFTs, you should look at them, especially because we would be more likely to have somebody who would be into, a Yeti.
Girl, let me tell you the story. There's a YouTuber. He's an actual man. And there's this video of him talking about how the Sasquatch was giving him sloppy toppy. And he busted his load in the Sasquatch. It is fucking
what?
Yes. And he said that
I was not expecting the convo to take this turn.
I'm telling you, it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. I was dying.
This is coming up on your
one of the big community members posted in our group chat, and I was just fucking rolling. Like, I'm like, what in the fuck is this shit? I was
talking about bestiality.
Yeah, like apparently she came back for seconds and gave like he was like, man, she didn't even let me rest, like I needed a break, in between. But no, she went again and started, giving him sloppy toppy again. And yeah, he gave her his load. Apparently he was raped or something like that. By a Sasquatch. It's on
okay.
YouTube.
I have a real question that for real, dude, for real, bro. you're saying that a fucking Sasquatch sucked your dick, but you're assuming it was a girl. You gay ass bitch.
Oh my god, it probably wasn't.
Come on. You just got head from some gay ass like
I wonder if female Sasquatches have boobs.
I would assume so, but I don't
Titties, you know,
know.
like us.
Do female gorillas? Do female chimps?
I wonder
They
if a
do
female
when they're
Sasquatch
milk.
has a bow in its hair.
I wonder if they braid
Definitely.
their hair.
I
It's
wonder
the
if
bow.
the female Sasquatch wears pearls.
I wonder if they wear a bra.
Maybe they have their
Do they
ears
have
pierced.
to use tampons?
I wonder if they're like, "Hey Kiki,
Hey, Katiki,
let's Kiki." Oh my gosh. So,
Thank you,
anyways,
Katiki.
LA fires. We'll bring that up. Another interesting thing about the LA fires that I thought, because we had Elon for like leading up to it, we kept seeing the 6-9 code, the 6-9 code, and then Bitcoin hit 6-9 on 6-9, and then the Pacific Palisades Fire Department is 69, like station 6-9, which I'm
Ooh,
like,
69, baby.
yeah. So I think that's
Always
interesting,
fun.
whether it's like Piscean or if it's whatever else they have us up to, whatever some people think it's polarities, like messing with the poles, but I think it
I
made
like the
me look at
sexual.
that kind of stuff in ritual, like, oh, like even our area codes, zip codes, but also like our fire departments, everything's like a sigil. Or if gematria is powerful, what is shout out 147? But if gematria or anything's powerful or any of these kind of number things, then what would be the difference if you're sitting at a lifeguard station that has a 69 on it versus a 12?
I don't know, man. There's
Oh,
fucking
Cancer.
numbers,
Thank you.
bro. Those fucking numbers.
I'm surprised Abbie didn't correct me.
We had that conversation the
I
other
wasn't
day,
following
Chaney.
that fast. My brain's not working that fast.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, this is what I asked Chaney the other day. Okay, I was listening to this audio book about numbers and the spirituality behind each number and their power and the frequency and how it's tied to color and all of this. It's just wonderful. And I asked the question, I was like, okay, they limit us in the idea of like what numbers are. And I asked Chaney this question. I was like, why did they just give us 0 through 9? Okay, why didn't they give 10 its own fucking symbol, 11 its own fucking symbol? But no, we have to go back and use the 1 and the 0 and just create combinations of the same fucking number. And it's just like, why does math have to be like that? Oh, it's just easier for us to like comprehend what math. I was like, that's my point. Like, why are they dumbing us down? Why not like have an infinite amount of symbols to represent each number? But they put us in this limited idea of like what the fuck numbers are, like 0 through 9. And I'm like, it's very limiting. Why is this? It shouldn't be this way, because math, if you want to explain the world in math, I think it's just more than 9 digits, 10 digits, whatever the fuck, 0 through 9. You guys you feel me? You feel me out there? I know Chaney feels
10
me.
would really be 1 times 0 if we were to write it any way else. So then it would be 0. But then it's just when you were talking about the 10 and we were going over the power of 10 on like 2 episodes ago, the more I started to think of like, yeah, I don't know. I do think there's like how come the asterisk doesn't mean 12 instead of 1 and 2 together?
Yeah. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like this math is so much more complex if you want to explain things. Okay. Yeah, we have 10 fingers, but that doesn't mean there's just like that set.
Because the 369, Abbie, what about the 369? Fix
Well, because it's all of it. 369 is what Tesla said allegedly was the secret, to understanding the universe. But that wasn't complete. It's actually 36912 because we're on the whole base 10 system, which is the Fibonacci like fib of no chi really is what Fibonacci stands for, because it's like the death spiral. Everybody thinks that's the golden ratio and all that stuff, and it does appear in nature, but it's Fibonacci sequence. Like a Fibonacci sequence would be 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. But it's each number eats the number before it to combine and make the next number. So it's actually the parasitic. And so like the base 10 system is all based on the Fibonacci sequence, which is like it's bad coding and is basically what it is. So 3, 6, 9, 12 is a base 12 math system, and that's actually like the crystal spiral, the like Christos spiral. So
Mhm.
it's actually it multiplies and it grows outward at a more correct rate. So that's actually really the true golden ratio, the real better mathematics.
Yeah. You
So
see, that's how, like, I'm trying to understand if, like,
and it's
numbers are
about the energy grids, because
yeah.
Tesla was built the, free energy grids. The free energy grid runs on the base 12 system, not the base 10.
This is why I think numbers are fake. If not, each number has like a special frequency to it, it shouldn't just be limited 0 to 1 and copy the number and have 11, 12, because it does reduce. It always reduces back to like a basic fucking number in this form of math that they fed to us for us to believe in. Okay, let's just go with that. But for me, it's like if you go on the frequency scale and you want to think of frequency as numbers, because that's what everything is, right? If you're thinking about it that way and you go to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 is not going to have any of the similar frequency of 1 and 0 or 1 and 1. It's going to have its own identity. So just this number idea, this number system is like so like useless to me in the sense of how they want to describe this fucking realm, because I feel it's like it's infinite and they just have us so limited and reduce it back to this energy of frequency they want us in.
Don't you find
1,
that weird
0
about
through 9.
numerology though? It does, like I was born in a 1 year, my like your life path number is a certain number, but like does 1 through 9, but then there's three other ones and it's 11, 22, and 33. And it's like, why are those three numbers and not 44 and 55? It's just those three that are like, if you're a 44, then it would be an 8, but 33 is 33 and 11 is not.
But also, it's like frequencies and tones in a way, like sounds. Like numbers are, we try to be as descriptive as we can to try to like do the finite amount, but they could show us a color scale and I might be able to see 30 and you might be able to see 100 different shades in that. And so I feel like in a way numbers are like that, where it's like where people argue about Celsius versus Fahrenheit, but Celsius is like, hey, when it boils it's here and when it's frozen it's here, and we're just going to shove these numbers in between and whatever happens. Where then Fahrenheit is like, well, what happened? Like there has to be a salt equivalent involved in it. It has to be finite. Like there has to be a different kind of. And so you look at even these kind of things, like your one point, and even the more that we even in crypto numbers, how we're getting these broken down like digits
Tiny
all the
decimal.
way, yeah, all the way backward.
So fucking weird.
It's like for some reason in the Google spell that they've tried to do to us, they've tried to give us
0.0034.
an infinite amount of unknowing ahead of it. You're this much in debt. You're this much in debt. You're trillions of dollars in debt. We're sending bazillions of dollars to Ukraine. It cost one Google amount of money to get to Mars. Infinity. They're trying to like blow our head. But then in the backward, they're trying to get us to trade in finite, like amounts of dust. So it's like they have us thinking we're all the way. How is this little bit of dust ever going to pay for all that? And it's like they want us in that like mindset.
Yeah, it's a control. Numbers are a control mechanism. I'm fucking figuring it
I
out.
think math too. Think of if it is such a language, if it is such a powerful language that a majority of the world is written in, that no matter what language we speak around the world, we should be able to speak to get each other in math. If that's the case, and then think of one shitty teacher could throw off your whole entire language for the rest of your life. Think of how much anxiety math gives kids. And then think of how they're just like, hey, you guys, this is math. And it's like, this is geometry, this is calculus, this is, algebra, this is, and then they're like, here, break down all this. And then they're like, no, those are formulas. We're really teaching you all something so much bigger. And then you're like, hey, I think I figured out this new thing. Like, I don't need to write down all that stuff. I have the answer in my brain. Well, you have to write down the answer because then you're going to get it half wrong if you don't show us your work. Well, I don't need to show my work. And so then I had to force this LARP of all my work, and I got my work wrong because I was faking it. I didn't know what the work had to be. I just looked at the answer and was like, beep, boop, 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 in my head, and I wrote it down, and then I always got in trouble. So I was like, fuck this. But now I'm like, they wanted us to all write our work because, one, they're forcing us into that's the only way you find the answer. But if the proof of everything in science is that we're kind of building on that, then if you were a person that could already get to the answer and you had a new formula, they were already breaking you of that in the 4th grade. So it's like all the ways you had to learn, they're like, well, we can't stack anything on top of this if you refuse to learn it this way.
But no, it wasn't even just math. It's all of it. It's like,
No, they took us.
it says it in the book, so that's what's right.
Yeah.
I don't care what your grandma said. I don't care what the internet said.
And if you ask fucking questions, they'll pull you out of your classroom and then give you these tests to do, a fucking hearing test where they MK Ultra your brain and like kind of reprogram it, and then ask you to look at ink blocks, and then ask you to decode things with numbers and letters in Russian and Chinese and whatever, German. And it's like the indoctrination.
Or then think of Gifted. Like, think of how they made you, like, I remember the amount of tests. I remember having to go take a test when I was 4 because they wanted me to start school. And I will tell you guys, this is one of the things that it doesn't matter what your fucking personality test is. Whatever answer I want to get will be the answer I get. I know how to take tests, y'all. Like, I always have my whole fucking life. So I'm like, I don't want to go to school yet. And so I fucking let me do what I have to do to not go to school yet. But so many times pulling you in to have to take Gifted tests. Do you want to be in Gifted? Like, I would ask what's going to happen with this test because they never told you what the tests were for.
I was tested 3 freaking times.
And the funny thing is,
You
they
know
didn't
why I
ask your
failed one
parents
time?
either.
Because they asked me to describe a bicycle, and I was like, I was insulted at that point, so I just was like, I can't. And they're
They
like,
asked you to describe a bicycle?
yeah, yes. And so I just said, I refuse to do it. I was like, no, I can't.
That is fucking shit where they're searching for something. The same way as
Yeah.
they want your DNA, all those tests when we were kids, they were just fucking searching for shit. They were like searching for, I hate these fucking words, you guys, but I'm going to say
I
them
just felt
right
like
now.
it was the
Wait,
stupidest. I felt like
and
it was
you'll understand the
insulting.
philosophy I mean when I say this.
Yeah.
It's either like they're searching for like indigo children or star seeds or fucking anointed ones, whatever word you want to put on it. They've been looking for that shit forever. And so they've been showing you, like, you know how they say, oh, the Dalai Lama is a reincarnate of, and we show him these couple
Yeah.
of things, this kid a couple things, and the kid always picks the right one. That's how we know it's the Dalai Lama reincarnate. You're telling me they ain't doing this with other things?
Well, here's the thing.
Sorry to
During the
interrupt, Abbie.
test,
I was like,
during
wait.
the test, though, Chaney, here's the wild thing. Before they even give you the hearing test, they'll make you look at the ink blocks first, and they'll say, "Hey, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this?" And then they'll give you the hearing test, and then they'll have you do the ink blocks again, but you'll have completely different perspective of what you fucking said the first time. It's like totally different. They switch the flow state off in people. 110%.
I can describe a bicycle, but I'm too tired.
Zephyr boobs is 58008. Come on.
That's embarrassing. Somebody just failed dirty math with Abbie.
And if you want to spell boobless, on a calculator, it's 553-7-8008.
Up. Look
But
at when I
literally,
just
that's
put
what they
that
were
up,
turning.
and now Illuminati confirmed.
That's what they were turning off. I highly believe that they were turning off the flow state, that divine connection within children, because they are so aware at that time. I think until the age of 7. So, excuse me. I believe that's what they were doing. They were cutting that flow state.
I just felt so weird about it. I was like, seriously, a two-wheeled mode of transportation? Like, I could tell you all about a bicycle, but like, it felt fucking like. Do you think I'm retarded? Like, I was pissed about it, so I was like, nope, not doing it.
You're like, what kind of test is this?
Yeah,
I
and
thought you
why
thought I
didn't
was
you?
smart.
And why didn't you let my parents know about the test either? Why was it so hush hush?
Well, then think if they're doing, pokey and like, scoliosis tests and like weird kind of physical tests, physical fitness tests, like
Presidential fitness test.
they were just running us through Nazi games.
Sit and reach.
Like we had no idea. And you have no idea what direction, like the same as the military. I have a friend who is a mirror twin, and him and his brother
so
started the
cool.
military at the same time, and they were like promised like, hey, you guys are going to do this stuff together, but they split them up right in the first 24 hours. And the brother ended up like starting boot camp like 2 weeks later, like left in the first 24 hours of boot camp. 2 weeks later, he ended up going to like the most dangerous part of Afghanistan for, maybe 2 terms, where 2 tours. And his brother went to like the safest part of Okinawa. And they like, the brother was around politicians' kids and like super whatever, and they like almost set them up for this complete different military experience. It's kind of wild.
Well,
And they have to still take tests to
Nazis
this
did it
day if they
on.
want to get VA benefits. They still, to this day, neither of them are enlisted anymore, blah, blah, blah. Both of them are past their stop loss. But if they still want to get benefits, they have to still take tests. And they
'Cause
are
here's the
tests
thing.
like thick like this.
Who
Like
better to
thick.
test on though than twins? There's a reason why the Nazis did it, because they literally share the exact same DNA. So if that's the case, then like you have a great built-in experiment.
But not just like, it's like antenna. It's not just a ground zero of like, what can we do to this one mentally and physically, and inject it with what kind of stuff and see what happens with this one over here.
Metals.
Yeah,
Metals.
I just think
Heavy metals, aluminum, fucking mercury, what else? Iron, copper. We have all these interesting metals within us naturally,
isn't
apparently.
it interesting that the Hollywood sign is gonna be gone?
Yay.
Isn't that kind of like, doesn't it seem like a spell that was put
Did we
there?
do that?
If it was Hollywood land and Tunnel Mental told us that it used to be 13 letters and somebody committed suicide on the 13th letter, and then they took the land off of it. I don't know why. Maybe it was a weird occult thing. But
Because they're always erasing 13. That's why there's not a 13th
yeah,
floor.
there's no 13
There's
anywhere
not
because
the
of the
13th sign,
Templars.
There's no 13 months anymore.
Yeah, why are they? It must be the luckiest number.
It's supposedly the number of Sophia, Christos Sophia.
Man, I love Sophia. I love her when I see her in my dreams. It's just so wonderful. The void. That's what I call it, the void. Sophia.
Sophia's the void?
To me, yeah.
Because she'd be the womb, right? Like the mother.
Yeah, the void. The blackness that holds everything, the space that
I
holds
know.
everything.
I've been there. I've fucking met her. And then this is what I really realized, or like in this of my whole thing, is I felt like it was death. Like it was, but I felt like it was, and I growled at it. I was so angry at it.
Really?
And then it took me until like after cancer that I was like, oh my gosh, it was unconditional love and you couldn't accept it.
What I saw was mind-blowing, Chaney. I was in the middle of this void and it was nothing there. And I was in the middle of nothing, just floating in my purple bluish body, ghost-like body. And all of a sudden this out of the void formed this dark void, and then stars started forming, and it was just like it was showing me creation, and it was massive, like massive, and I'm just there like in tears, like just tears and awe and stillness and shock and beauty. And I was so confused at why it was showing me whatever it was showing me, but it was just like I just felt like it was like a protection, like you're protected, I'm showing you what you are, you're all of this in a sense.
I got the same like creation after, but instead of feeling whole and it becoming a thing, I almost like Venom peeled. I was so mad. I pushed out of it. I pushed away from it, and then I created. It was like out of that. I was so like, holy shit. So much has to come for like the amount of wars and the amount of famine and strife and all the things in between that have to come just for me to have some symbology of me again. On there, like all the things that have to build up. But it was so like, it took forever to have the like, oh my gosh, unconditional love. Like, that's the thing most people fear. Everybody talks about wanting it or doing it, but really very few do it. Very few. It's like sometimes men get offended when you say this, but I think like the highest level, not that there isn't capability in all different things, but I think there's something about mother to a child love in our flesh that it's like where you're not competitive with them, you're not hoardy of them, like it's a protection, and like this whole way that just seems a pure love. Not that people don't
My
have fucked up
brother
mommy
said
issues.
something to me like that the other day. He's like, Layla, he's like, out of everyone in this family, he's like, you're just so nice. Like, you actually fucking love this fucking family. Like, you do everything for this family. And I'm like, thank you for like the acknowledgement and the like recognition. He's like, it's unbelievable, like how selfless you are. And he's like, you are going to be rewarded in such a way, like in this lifetime and probably the next. He's like, I just want you to know that. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and then when I look back, I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And yeah, I go through hell, but like, how lucky am I that I get to have a family that I can actually take care of? And some people don't and wish for that. And I sometimes forget of that whole worldwide view I have and how important it is and how important family is. And yeah, so I'm just grateful that unconditional love is real. I just wish I could find that in somebody because it's hard to trust people nowadays.
Just have a baby.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Nah.
You'd be
Not
filled with it,
fucking
man.
doing it. I'm not doing it.
Just have a baby, bitch.
I'm very selfless, but I'm selfish at the same time when it comes to that. Absolutely not.
You know, I don't want kids, but I feel like in this point in my life would be the closest, like, look how competent you'd be
Yeah.
as a mom now. But I look back at me in my younger years and I'm like, you would like, I just sometimes, even if I like my temper snaps and I just like yell at an inanimate object, I sometimes am like, I'm so glad that wasn't directed toward a human or a kid where they have trauma because I
man.
just couldn't get the door unlocked because I had to pee.
You know, when I got out of the military, I went and talked to my captain at my command, and he told me, "Your first one," he's like, "you're gonna mess up so bad." He goes, "Your second kid, you get a little bit better, but by the time you have your third kid," he's like, "you're just a pro. Like you get really good at it." He's like, "Just don't be hard on yourself with the first one." And that's the thing. Like, I'm so lucky that my eldest son loves me.
I
You know,
know
I also didn't know he was like, I knew he was autistic, but I didn't know, and, like, I didn't have a diagnosis for a long time, and then having other kids who weren't, like, I could totally see it, but, if I would've just had one kid, I probably wouldn't have realized for a very long time, but
My sister has 5 daughters, and when I just love how much her daughters all, if you were to ask them all separately, "Who's your best friend?" They'd be like, "My mom." And I'd be like, "Who's your mom's best friend?" And they'd all be like, "Me."
That's how my kids are too, though. I'm like, dude, how did I get so lucky? This is awesome.
Yeah, I always think it's a really good sign for parents, mothers, and fathers when your kids all want to be up your butt. Like, no
Yeah.
matter their age, they're just like, "Oh, my mom's like, I always want to be around my mom." I always think that's really cute stuff. I
Yeah,
don't
Brie
know.
always sends me TikToks that are like, when my mom doesn't answer her phone and she doesn't have her location on. It's like when she doesn't tell me when she leaves the house. It's like, shit.
They're tracking you just as much. They're
Yeah.
like,
Oh
"Mom,
yeah.
your location's not on."
Yeah. Oh, it's worse.
So we talked about tunnels in Hollywood, and we
Thanks for
talked about
sharing.
Pacific Palisades. And
Thanks for sharing, everybody. Next, I love
you
you guys.
guys, I just want, this is totally off topic, but I just have to, as a sometimes person who watches YouTube, y'all, it's Naziville out there. Like, legitimately, there is a commercial every 30 seconds. I can't handle it.
Wait,
And
where?
so on
On
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh yeah,
It
I
is
know.
a nightmare. You'll like be like, "Oh, let me put on this podcast before I doze off." And you'll wake up, and I don't even understand how this is possible. I'm like, are people getting album views for this? Are they getting money for this? How is it that you would have a podcast? Like, I wake up to a podcast, a 90-minute commercial.
And
What
it
the fuck?
like interrupts mid-sentence
90
too.
minutes,
So
too.
then you don't even
90
remember what they were
minutes.
talking about before the commercial. And you're just like, what the fuck?
There's like so many different ones. And if like the remote, I'm like, are you kidding? I am stuck in a 90-minute commercial. And then sometimes this is my algorithm for some reason, and it doesn't make sense. Like, "Hello, I am from Ukraine, and this is what a Russian occupation looks like." And I'm like, skip, skip, skip. What is this commercial all the time on YouTube? So, anyways, if you support the show and are rad, I'm trying to go backward and even take out all the mid rolls. Like, I don't want it anymore, because if you click one button for mid rolls, it used to just be like, "We're going to put a mid roll in your thing," and it would be a commercial. Now it's like, it'll come up with a block of how many minutes are listed, and I refuse. I'm like, this would be a nightmare, because I like to go to sleep listening to some of my podcasts. It's how some information gets in there. So anyways, I am going to try to go backwards and take out all of the freaking ads out of the YouTube channel, but just humor whatever they put on at the beginning or the end. But I'm going to try to take off
How
the
much do you have
mid-rolls.
to pay to get rid of the fucking ads on fucking YouTube?
Well, it's not a lot, probably,
fucking
but I've just YouTube is the second largest algorithm in the world, and no matter, even if the CIA Zuckerberg is sitting down with Rogan and saying, "Hey, I'm going to loosen up the algorithm, guys. I realize the thing that's going on with DARPA, like, we've decided that community, you guys will police each other well enough, you know." Like, we've decided you guys will all turn in your neighbor, so we're going to go ahead and try to do it just like that. And I am still like, the first and second largest search engines on the internet are Google and YouTube, and those are both Bill Gates, Microsoft. So it sucks that but I'm feeling less and less like, this is one of the things I feel like we can say freely today on YouTube. What about the Pizzagate shooter getting killed?
Dude, they knew it was him. They were waiting for the right moment. That's so fucking annoying. Oh, he had a gun and he didn't want to. Like, yeah, he had a gun. Isn't it a state where he shot him you're allowed to have a gun? Right?
Huh?
Isn't the state where he was shot, aren't you allowed to have a gun there?
Oh, I don't even know where he got. I didn't even look any more further. Honestly, I didn't even read the article at all, because I'm just like, he was built to destroy. Like, he was a fake anon. He had 2 shots into a pizza place, one into the wall, into Comet Ping Pong. The thing that all of us take Q out of it. Before there was Q, there was WikiLeaks, and a whole bunch of people digital people just like you and I, the same things we look up, Manly P. Hall, or we're all like, what's this symbol mean? Let's all say it in our language. Oh, that word? In my language, it's water. In my language, it's, like whatever. We're going through every fucking thing. But that's what we were doing back when. And we all came across James Elefantis's Instagram, Comet Ping Pong, all the Pizzagate things, all of the Rachel Chandler, all the hot dogs into the pizza party. And so all this stuff was going on. And so there was a whole bunch, like every account that attached to these accounts, they had nasty old CP stuff. They were all attached to darker stuff. All the people that were there, the politicians, and we were all calling it out. Ping pong like Forrest Gump, red ping pong paddle from China. Just saying, but we'll talk about that at another. But we were all screaming all this stuff. So then all of a sudden, some dildo, because they also had to link together and make all the Anons bad before the insurrection too. So they said, oh, look at this guy, this Q kid. He fucking walked into the pizza parlor, 2 shots, one into the wall and one into the computer server.
Of course, the computer, yeah.
And so they're like, we don't have a basement. Really? You're the only place in DC without a basement? Stop being a dildo here.
Yeah, like shut the fuck up. Like
stop. Like,
stop.
It's so
like,
crazy.
Literally. Just as quick as the Jews in Brooklyn where they like try to like cover up their evidence of the tunnels. That's how fucking quick. Pop. Steal it up. They have the money. They can do it overnight. No problem. Quick set cement, baby.
I know that, and they don't have to fill in the whole entire thing. They just have to make a wall.
Nice wall. Boom.
Done.
Paint it. Done. Trust
Never
me.
existed.
That shit is so fucking real. It's not even funny. Now the whole Hillary thing and the face-off thing, maybe not. I don't know. Could be a thing.
I don't know.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah, the face-off thing, the ping pong table with Huma. I don't know. I don't know. Was it all a Mossad honeypot? I don't know. I don't know. So then this is the other thing. So we know Epstein was, because Ghislaine Maxwell is related to Robert Maxwell, and Robert Maxwell always was. So all of this stuff, if one leads to another, I'm telling you, that's how they caught Diddy. So that's another honeypot. So then you're like, oh, this is kind of what's going on, which leads me to, did you guys see Elon post something and he's like, what am I missing here about Israel? And then Ian Carroll go in at him and was like, here's a whole bunch of facts. And like AIPAC owns like 90% of our Congress people, and Epstein's obviously Mossad. Here's a whole bunch of mentions of it. Like he came with a whole bunch of gravy.
All the rabbis.
He didn't just say because Jews run the world. He didn't. No. He was like, no, Mossad.
Here's why.
And CIA. We always talk about shadow ops, like obviously.
And like you said, it's not all of the Jewish community in the world. No. It's the Zionist regime. That's what we're talking about. Not the Jewish people, the Zionist regime that runs shit. Get that straight, okay?
And this too, I know Anthony Weiner's laptop too, with all the police in there. I think 9 of the 11 police officers killed themselves suspiciously. But if you look up the stuff, you guys, you should go find it. I think Ian did a good job on the write-up in the post, and then some random like Anon guys jumping onto it, trying to, I don't even know what he's up to.
Do you think Seth Rich knew a lot about what the shit that they were doing? You know, the Podestas and the Clintons and all of them, and the Huma Abedins.
Well, there's a picture of him with Warren Buffett.
And
I always found that strange. And he did send stuff. He gets killed in DC. Everything about Seth Rich's death is equivalent to Isaac Cappy.
Yeah.
Like, I think their deaths, one of them was very political, one of them was very Hollywood, but look where we're at right now. These two things, like this Hollywood and political monster, but really both these things, along with your sports community, but that's going to come crumbling down too. It's really just, it's easy for people to gander that all this stuff would be going on to make money because everyone's follow the money. If we were to say they're trafficking cocaine and arms, like weapons, and everyone's like, okay, I can wrap my head around that. I've watched that Tom Cruise movie. But everybody cannot fathom that if it is all about money, then human trafficking is really where you make it. And these people don't give a shit. They all feel like they're better than you. And it's not a religion. Their religion isn't the religions they sell us.
No,
Like,
not at
it's
all.
none of the Abrahamic religion. The head of all the religions are all doing whatever they're up to. They're
Yeah.
Babylonian, Canaanite,
And they'll
weird.
act like they're Jewish or Christian or Muslim, but they don't practice that in real life, but they'll portray like they do just for this play that's going on right now, or the show, the soap opera. I'll call it a soap opera on the next episode of The World.
And they're silencing up all their agents, all their CIA agents, all their loose ends. Weird death here, weird killing there, weird suicide there, weird fire there, weird flood there, weird bup there. And I just think they have how many more days? It's 111. We're rolling into 111. They have 9 more days.
Mm.
And so if I have 9 days, it's death rattle time. They're about to fully, like, they always say a fighter's most dangerous when they think their actual life is on the line. That last, right before they're about to get knocked out, right before they're about to submit, right before they're about to, it's death rattle time.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like we're in the last 9 days. And I don't feel like it all gets better. I think a lot is going to get better so quick. But I think people need to fucking hold technology's feet to the fire. There's a lot of things that people just can't go to sleep on. They can't all be like, yay, Iron Man's here.
Chaney, I think we talked about how the year of the snake, if you look back on all the year of the snakes, all these major events happening. So this year is a good year and a bad year at the same time. There's a lot of good things happening, but there's going to be a lot of fuck shit happening. And
like 1977, right?
Yeah, there's so many things that happened in the year of the snake, like earth changing. I think
I want to go talk about the year of the snake real quick, but before, because just to go back to big, because the national parks, here would be another thing, it would be an interesting big thing. National parks.
Big
look at
404, baby.
But look at how many, the national park, what is the missing 911? I think there's something there, something, what is happening behind me? This is what happened.
I don't know what's going on. Is that a commercial?
I know, and I'm power down.
Annoying.
I can't. It makes me
So
stick
annoying.
out to myself too much. But the missing 411 thing, but that's also ways people just go whoop and you're gone. And it's not just children. It is legitimately men, women, and children.
Mm-hmm.
Is it missing
411? And animals.
Missing 411. You're so right. Thank you, Becky. Okay, now go back into the snake. The snake. Don't step on snake.
Yeah. Is there a list where we can look at events of the year of the snake?
Yes.
And major events? Because
I saw somebody say Ben Balderson's name in chat, and you know how we all get around here. Ben. Ben's here?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I heard someone say in chat that the spiders are back.
Oh yeah, they are. I'm so excited for that. I saw that. Shout out to the weaving spiders. We love you guys. You guys are awesome gentlemen
and women.
Oh yes,
and women.
Oh yes.
Okay.
It's been a lot of men recently.
Layla, of course, you'd forget the women. Okay. It's the 6th sign of the Chinese zodiac. I find 2025, but not any old years past.
There's, hold on, let me find it. Hold on,
find it.
I'm gonna play it for you guys because I was like, "What the fuck?" This is a lot of very good information, and y'all need to hear it because it makes a lot of sense. It's gonna be a minute or two, but yeah. While I'm looking, guys, seriously, if you really want to long hold something, you should buy some big and just keep it in your wallet. $20, nothing major. But it'll
while
go.
I look for this, let me.
Guys, I'm telling you, there's gonna be a big.
She's moving shells on the New York street corner.
There's gonna be a big account that'll see us, and it's just gonna they're going to love this idea because it's an actual project. It's not like you're investing in nothing. There's a project behind this. But I'm not great at giving that speech because I have to learn more of the ins and outs because I'm learning crypto myself. But once I do, you'll understand it more. But if you want to find out more, you can just go on my X. There's the link somewhere, I guess, on the website. But yeah, buy some and hold it. It's just going to fucking climb.
So a thing that I'm up to, and that I will finally be, I've harassed a few people for a long time to produce their podcast. And some of them are my really dear friends, and some of them I don't know at all. But I'm like, let me just do this for you. Let me just do this for you. But of my friends, they've started a podcast last week, and it's called Club Maha. And so it's Make America Healthy Again. And it'll be Ian Carroll and Dustin Stockton and Kyle Kemper. And they'll be doing a podcast every week. And they have great guests coming and great, I think, information. And I will get to be producing that every week on Wednesday nights to start. And I'm really excited about it. So, yeah, it's something off air, and I'm looking forward to it. So you guys should all check it out. And it's just weird that everything happened this week with Ian and Elon, that I was like, holy shit. Like, whoa, this is a big deal. So yeah. Anyway, I'm excited about it. So I hope you guys all check it out. And that's what I'm up to. I think making America healthy again makes me very excited, and telling people about fluoride and vaccines and
Period.
exercise and maybe even peptides, and being able to interview different natural paths and different doctors and talk about heavy metals, and to really lean into the medical. And like, if this, any place you live, whatever place you live, but America specifically, or even here in my town, I want everyone around me to not just live a long life, but feel good in their flesh. Like, I don't want their joints to hurt, and them not to be able to see, and their skin to be having hives. And if they did make a mistake and did get any jibby jabbies, what can we do to fix that? I don't want to just be black pilled and think everybody's doomsday. There is something here with like herbs and things and more natural stuff. So I want to know more about what they're doing to the plastics and what they're. So, anyways, all this stuff will be going on. It makes me really excited to be like doing something about it and talking shit
Ozone
about it.
blood
So
therapy.
Oh, I
Ozone
was
blood
gonna say
therapy. I'm telling you.
N-acetylcysteine and TUDCA, because those will cleanse your liver of heavy metals.
Yeah, things like that. Especially doing my research with that ozone therapy machine. They run your blood through this machine, and like literally, if you take ozone, they'll show you. They'll pull the ozone out and take a balloon or anything plastic or whatever, and you'll see that fucking glove. Let's say like a plastic glove, it'll disintegrate right before your eyes. So think of all that plaque in your blood, heavy metals, plastics, fucking funguses, parasites, anything you could think of. It will fucking destroy it. Not only that, it will give electrolytes, and what else, some kind of, I can't think of the terminology, but it has to do with giving structure to your cell again. So it'll restructure your blood cells and make them healthy again. And when you see the blood going in, it's like this dark fucking
this is
red.
something I
When
wanted
it comes out like a nice bright red.
like Sherry says that she's had ozone, or he, I'm assuming
Uh-huh.
she, uh, but I'm only sticking with those two pronouns, so you can decide. Anyways, Sherry says that she's had ozone blood therapy. Another thing I want to set up for the show, like sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a number, and then at least people will be able to call and leave messages about certain things, and then we'll be able to play them. And then maybe people will be able to call in too.
Mm.
So I'm going to be setting that up here in the next couple of weeks. And shout out to Donut. So you guys know Donut is always invited to hang out, but he is being healthy, and he has to give his cat medication in the mornings. So he's
Nice.
like, I can't stay up all night, but I love you guys.
Understandable.
Big up your blood clot self.
Have you guys
Mhm.
seen those disgusting foot baths that people do where it supposedly like detoxes your body and it's like they look so gross?
I've seen that,
No?
but
You
I've
haven't seen
I've
those?
Those
I've
black,
seen
like,
that.
charcoal weird things.
Or
Well,
they'll look
no,
like diarrhea. It looks like sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's like this green crap, and you're like, "What the
I've heard
fuck?
that
Like, is it
machine
really?"
produces
Yeah.
that.
No, I know. I've heard that too.
Yeah. So I'm like, is it real or is it not real? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know either. I'm so curious if anybody's done it and felt like any different afterwards or if it's
Well, this will be something else too. You'll have to do once you're all in your own apartment, you'll have to get some and film it, and then we'll, put that on Sundays.
they do it at the place where I go where I get massages every month, so I was like, I've never really wanted to do it because I just feel like it's snake oil, but and plus I don't want my feet in that. Like, it looks so
Yeah, it looks
I
gross.
have
so
to be
gross.
honest, no, they don't clean that thing.
Yeah.
They don't clean those things. There's so much that go on at ladies' nail
Don't you feel like that
salons that I
pedicure
just
and
feel
stuff?
like
Yes.
y'all it's like you might as well be getting a tattoo with a dirty needle. Like it is
Yeah.
you're cutting yourself open. You're all around your where you're gonna be touching your eyes and touching your mouth and touching your and then you're just I don't know. I just think the nail salon, who knows what's going on? The conspiracy of a nail salon.
You know, I'm interested since we're talking about feet, and I think all feet are ugly, by the way. Have you guys seen those
All
like
feet?
I think all feet are ugly and weird. They're just fucking weird. When you actually look at feet and just like look at them in a philosophical way,
I'm
like
not
what
a
the
foot
fuck?
person, but I've seen some really cute feet.
I've seen cute feet too.
I don't
But
care
it's
what
it's
cute
usually
or
like
not, they're
cute little
ugly.
like
They're
cute like
weird. It's
women
like
feet,
you wiggle
like
your
painted
toes
right
and they
and
just look weird. They're fucking weird. Feet are weird. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Fucking
I
shit.
don't know, but
Ugh.
in the
feet,
Navy, you
you're
have to
on
go to
notice.
military,
Oh, got it.
you go to MEPS, like, to medical and processing, and every person is listed as having abnormal feet, and I'm like, "What the fuck is a normal foot then?"
Yeah, but you know those pads with, like, nails, and
Oh, I
you
can't
step on it?
that hurts so bad.
I wanna practice that because you get to a point after, like, the pain where you don't feel it anymore, and it's, like, it literally reboots your fucking, lymphatic system. The more you do it, the better it is for your
I have
body.
broken my toes so much, y'all, my feet so much. I cannot put those things on. It would
I
make
wanna
me
do it.
like, ugh,
I wanna
it
do it.
it would hurt so bad.
Yeah, it would hurt, but pain sometimes is good for you.
I've
Sometimes.
lived in pain for enough I have enough days of pain.
Girl, I know.
I'm like one of those people that I am like, I thrive
Mhm.
in it normally, but now I'm like, I haven't had a tattoo in so long because I'm like, ow. Like just right now, I'm noticing if I walk into something hard and honoring myself, and I'm noticing I'm not getting bruised. Little nerdy things. I'm trying to be so intentional.
Good.
Yeah, it feels good.
My
What else?
wallet looks so bad
What did
right
you
now.
guys think of Jimmy Carter's state funeral?
I didn't watch it. I just found it interesting though. Trump and Obama chit-chatty, like
Yeah.
like there's no beef between them or anything
Did you
like
see the
that.
lip readers?
I've seen so many versions. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
That's what I think is so funny about lip reading. I'm like,
Like,
because
what the
they
fuck?
could just once a
Say
word's
whatever.
down at the bottom and you're like, it says
Hmm.
this, people's brains are like, that's what I saw it
Ooh, they
say.
should ask AI. We should ask AI.
And yeah, like what happened? What would they say
Like
between
read
them? Ask
r
Rock.
yeah, can you look at the whole, Jimmy Carter incident of, like, Obama and Trump speaking? Can you read their lips and figure out what they're trying to say
There's
between each other?
And what
an
did they just
account on
quote Trump as
YouTube.
saying too? Is like, "I might" or "Obama and I might be friends," or something like that. He says something might be "We might be okay," or "We might be"
Mm,
he didn't say it, like, definitively. It was like, "Yeah, Obama and I might like each other," or something. It was just something to that effect.
my algorithm showed me something very interesting about AI in this conversation between this gentleman and AI, and, You know how everyone's like, oh, it's like it's almost human. It's almost human, but it's not even that. It's its own fucking entity. Like we've created an entity, like its own identity. It's not even human. We can't even compare it to human. But the conversations that he had with this fucking AI is so mind blowing. Like the responses, that it's so deep and philosophical to the point I was like, oh my God, AI and humans and whatever AI is, y'all, you think we are nothing? We are something. You think they are like, we should be afraid of AI? I don't think we should be afraid of AI. We are the ones that fucking created it. So if you think that AI is like a God thing and like we're asking questions to this idea of like, oh my God, we're getting the answers right away. No. We created that thing. It's so profound, this conversation that he had. If you guys want to check it out, it's on my
It's
X.
weird when you put it like that, like, because it just makes me think of God. Like, okay, so let's say God created man. So he created humankind. No, we won't say man because,
Uh-huh.
he created women and we're the fucking best. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Shots fired.
Um, but so if God created humankind and then humankind has become its own thing and everything, like there's other people like God, like say the angels who didn't like it. And so
Mhm.
those were the angels that fell. They didn't like that God created this
Mhm.
being that was in his image, though it's its own thing. And so those become the demons. Like, so what if we're factioning right now, like as above so below? So like to this thing that humans created, this AI, like it's taking off and doing its own thing. We have
Rakes.
our different opinions about it. So are we factioning into the angels and demons?
I
I
don't know.
I don't know, but it just blows my mind at this idea. You guys have to listen to this conversation. It's 6 minutes long, but like I almost cried. Like I was like, "Oh my God," the responses that the AI was giving was even touching. He's like, "I don't want here's the only problem." Okay, the conversation went into like, "Can we like see a place where we don't have any wars?" Like he was asking AI, like, "How can we do that?" You know? And then he's like, "I'm not even worried about that because humans, that's the beauty of humans. You guys have your humanity, like you created me, like you created this species of whatever this is where you can get the answers right away. But my only one fear that I have for humanity, and I don't want this for any human on earth, is I'm scared that you guys created us, but you guys are creating a thing where you can lose your humanity, and I don't want humans to lose your humanity. So please don't lose your humanity. This is what you guys created. You guys created this to make your lives better, but at the same time, you're cutting your connection from humans, and don't do that. He's like, that is my warning to humanity. Please don't lose your humanity. And I was like, what? Like, that's so fun. It was such a touching conversation between fucking AI and human, and and the deep understanding that I was just like, what the fuck? We created this thing. But at the same time, it's beautiful. It's like a weird symphony happening right now in this world. It's fucking mind-blowing and weird, but I'm excited for it. You
Well,
guys have
that is what Summer always says.
Mhm.
You train the AI. It is just a tool and you
Mhm.
train it.
So weird.
And it's like a
So
weird
weird.
kind of narcissist where it starts to mirror you.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, you don't like this, but do you like this? Okay.
So weird.
And look at how quickly they've shown us that it's advanced. What do you think their AI is? To me, it's still just as like the more that all of us play with it, the large language model just learns more of us. It's not like it's recreating the wheel. I
Right.
don't know. It just seems like an abacus. It just seems like a big abacus.
I don't know. The more and more I'm talking to AI, the more and I'm having an
They're like,
understanding of
it
what we created.
has
It's
it figured out a problem that would have taken men 1 billion years to solve. Really?
Yeah.
What kind of answer is how would you even know? That's like saying like where they're like, infinity means monkeys typing on a calculator eventually write Shakespeare. Like just banging on a calculator, eventually one of them hits perfect Shakespeare. That's what infinity means. So it's like that kind of idea a little bit. It's like, are we just feeding this thing? And the more we feed it, the more ideas. If you're even like, I just had a great idea. Does this idea exist? Who am I giving my idea to? By typing it into my search engine.
Dude,
Shark Tank.
Who was it that just said, Ryan, just wait till AI starts to get horny? What? Imagine? Like, what? Like, how would they even know what that is? Like,
The
how would
only
they
thing
even...
that would be able to save us from AI, because you know how they show us like those computer suits or like those robot suits that even soldiers could wear and they're like Terminator strong. It would be only if we train elephants and gorillas. Like we don't have a shot physically against AI. We have to train an army of the animals.
Huh.
This is the great war I see. You know how they're like cowboy versus aliens? No, it's like us on animals, like you on the back of a lion, Abbie's on a tiger, and then me, I'm standing with like an army of chimpanzee, and then us versus AI. And then they're all Terminator. It's the only shot we have. A whole bunch of humans. Because once Skynet's up, they can find you everywhere now. That you're not the Unabomber anymore. You can't run away into the woods.
Nope.
And everybody that puts one in their house, it gives them even more. It's like a connected whole thing. And then there'll be an X phone.
What about that egg? Enron and that egg that he
That's
came
fake.
out with? It's a little weird that it's a fucking egg, number one.
I think it's like an Enron commercial. They want everybody talking about it. So then Enron thing is in there again instead of everyone just being like, you
Nuclear
corrupt,
something?
bankrupt motherfuckers.
Nuclear energy pod or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's like a
Like, but
free
eggs are
energy
meant
in
to
your house.
hatch. Is it like a nuclear bomb, like mini nuclear bombs? The nuclear.
Yeah,
like,
the Enron egg. Yeah, so Enron.
Weird.
Corrupt
Enron,
fucking
Elon.
Enron.
Such
But that's
fucking weird
energy
names.
too. Like Enron dealing with all that stuff.
Fucking weird.
What do you so like the funeral happened, all of them sitting there except Big Mike.
Oh yeah, where was Big Mike?
Yeah.
It says
That's Michelle Obama, by the way.
She was in Hawaii, maybe.
Hawaii?
I don't know. I think so. That's what somebody said. I know. I'm like, did you want to say, was she lighting fires? I don't know. You know how everybody's like, look how many movies they show us the Twin Towers falling. Look how many movies they show us the Twin Towers exploding. Look how many movies they show us planes flying into the Twin Towers. Look how many movies they show us that Hollywood sign on fire.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
Holy
geez,
shit.
it is like implanted in your thing. So
Did you mention the whole Joe Rogan mentioning it 6 months ago on a podcast? The whole incident with the fires? Yeah, apparently
everyone's kind of
6 months ago. Boom, on his show, a friend of mine told me that, like, we'll be lucky if we had like a big wind come by and then like a fire start and all of LA burns down all the way to the oceans. And we're like,
oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people. They're like, oh, when the Santa Ana winds come in, we're just waiting for the right windstorm. So if you knew those windstorms were coming, they just light a few fires. And now, I forget who came out and said it. Oh, the Fonz. Remember how when we pulled up my ex account on the show on Sunday or last Friday night, and on the side it says people you may want to follow.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, Henry Winkler? Why would I want to follow the Fonz? What the fuck? Well, this like somewhere before the fires, or like right after the first fire, Henry Winkler popped up on my feed and he's like, there's an arsonist in Los Angeles. And that's all he wrote. And I retweeted it with some shit above it. Like, I gotta agree with the Fonz here on this.
Yeah,
but it was just so weird. I'm like, I feel like, I don't know. You
Well,
guys,
they're
we get
talking
weird
about
here
these
late
4
night.
Bulgarians. Did you guys see that? Bulgarians or Romanians, they were walking down the street and these people are like trying to get them into the car, but they were heading towards the fires. And they're like, come on, we got a car. We can get you out of here. And they're like, mind your fucking business, like that face, like these Eastern Europeans, when they look at you, it's like, what the fuck, you about to kill me? But anyway, again, come in the car, like we'll get you out of here, like get the fuck out of here. They were all like dressed in gear that's like they were ready to do something. So there were like many arsonists that are not from this country doing the shit that they came here to do and paid to do. So a lot of what's going to be happening is these people who are coming over the border from God knows where doing the shit that they're doing. And then on top of that, people who are seeing this, actually, they know it's arson. They're actually lighting shit on fire now on purpose just so they can go and ransack homes.
This
It's
is what they've
fucking-
done over and over again. The Great Chicago Fire was not a cow kicking a lantern. The Great San Francisco Fire wasn't because a gas line broke. It's like all these things over and over and over again. Everything's Halliburton, and if we won't destroy it with war, then they'll destroy it with a fucking fake natural disaster. But weather wars aren't real. Weather weapons don't exist. And it's just like,
they do, motherfuckers. Just
one
search.
thing. What about bells? How much do you think those have to do with weather and clock towers and these kind of things that don't exist for us anymore? Like, we talk about frequency and harmony and these kind of things. Like, where is all of those things for us? How much does it matter that we have metals from the earth and make these things out of them? And everything's not in straight lines all the time. Everything's not always gridded out. Two.
It's okay. HARP definitely involved in it. These hurricanes that we had in the past and how they changed directions, technology. Guys, they have earthquake machines. It's real. Just search the patents on anything that your imagination goes to. I wonder if the government has this type of technology. Search it from the patents, and I'm pretty sure it's out there already. I'm telling you, everything that you see is all GMO, genetically modified.
Wasn't a lot of this Tesla technology? Like, isn't a lot of the rays and a lot of the things that people talk about, isn't that Tesla technology? Didn't he make the death ray?
I'm sure, and I'm sure it probably had a good purpose, but just like anything, the military will take it, pervert it, and weaponize it. So
strange. Oh, and also look into NextRad. NextRad towers. They are a mechanism or a tool to control the weather with chemtrails. It's all the metals that they fucking spray in the fucking sky, and you don't think that's real. It's
tornadoes
fucking
are
real.
man-made too. I think
Yeah.
that's
Well,
why they
when
have
you're
to sell us
saying-
movies like Twister and shit like that, so we believe it. I think they have to sell us movies like Jurassic Park, not just to reiterate fucking dinosaurs to us, that bullshit, but to also sell the lie of fucking mosquitoes being prehistoric.
Yep.
Mosquitoes are fucking not from God or
Nope.
not from Creator or not from here. They are little nasty vampires.
There's
And-
something.
chicks,
They have no
psychics,
purpose on this earth.
Yeah, if you want to murder something, kill mosquitoes. I think like it's totally fine. And you guys, this is something that is I think about. What if that, and this is, how they've like forced us into this veganism, and a decade ago it was like a vegetarianism, and a decade before that it was like, hey, I'm just not going to eat meat. Like, it's like been a slow walk, pescatarianism into this. What if, and then all these people are like, you could just eat meat. You could just eat protein. You could just eat this. You could live on this diet. What if we aren't supposed to be eating roughage? What if that's like an American, like not just an American diet, but it's like what if we're the crop and feeding us, they'd want to eventually give the cattle, the sheep, the cheapest feed that they could. What if they tried to walk us into eventually this lab grown thing they're like, fuck, we can't get him to just eat vegetables. Goddamn.
I think
I
it
wish-
goes for
that's-
blood type, though.
Well, I think it's beyond that though, because plants they put off a poison because they don't want to be eaten. So each plant has this ability. It's its natural defense mechanism. So certain plants have it more than others. That's why like so many people have issue with nightshades and stuff. It's because the plant is trying to freaking survive. It's trying not to be eaten. It's trying to just like go back into the ground and reproduce. But like
They
I don't know.
breathe. They have
But
pockets where they breathe. It blows
like
my
kale.
mind.
Kale was like one of the biggest fucking health food psyops. Like everybody's like, "Oh, kale is so good for you. Have kale smoothies and make kale chips and all this shit." Try to
Even
eat raw
quinoa.
kale. Can your teeth chew that? That is like all the indication you need. That's not good for you. That's probably tearing up your gut.
Just so you know,
Quinoa is bad for you too.
Summer says mosquitoes and roaches are not allowed on my new ark.
Period.
I love
Add
you,
ticks to that
Summer.
too.
Summer is the best. Yeah, there's some other things too we'll have to put on that list, but mosquitoes and palmetto bugs and German roaches. All three of those things.
Water bugs.
I feel bad for water bugs. I don't know if they want to be in the water or out of the water. I don't know if I don't know how to rescue you. You just always seem panicked.
The palmettos. That's what we call water bugs.
Oh,
in New York.
palmettos?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole
Fucking
water bugs here
hate-
are the ones that you find in your pool. They're little like bzz, bzz, they're just little things.
No.
Palmetto bugs, this is how creepy palmetto bugs are.
They
have
fly.
fake eyes. They have fake eyes. Who's that for? Us. It's just for us to see their fake eyes. And they're like, I feel like trying to kill them. I don't even like going near palmetto palms in Florida because I just picture pulling off any one of the branches and underneath it, palmetto bugs. And so I don't even go in there. There's some forests in Florida that are just palmetto trees. I'm not going in that forest. When people talk about ticks up in New England and shit like that, that's one of the things I love about Florida. We don't have a ton of ticks here. So I'll walk through the woods, do all that stuff. It's fine and dandy. But palmetto, I don't even want to think about a palmetto. People in Florida too, they're like, get that cardboard out of your house. Palmetto bugs like to hang out in that cardboard. Get it right out of your house.
Yeah, and they fly.
They fly. You don't even know
And when
too,
you
and
kill
you
'em,
can
they
hear them like a
crunch.
bird in your room. It's like
When you kill them or when you step on them, they make that crunch sound.
you try to step on them and
You
your
feel
foot
it?
moves.
Oh, God.
It's the worst.
I hate it.
Florida. It doesn't matter how fancy you are. It doesn't matter how clean you are.
Nope. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You want
That's why
crawling.
palmetto bugs are different than roaches. Roaches are like feasting on shit, where palmetto bugs are just there to haunt your nightmares.
I'm happy we don't have them. Thank God. I love that.
Have you seen New Alex Jones?
Oh
I pull
yeah.
up-
What the fuck? I'm like, when did he get like better looking? Like low key got better look. I was like, what the fuck? Like he's ugly, but like he's better looking than he was. I'm just like, this is they
I was
all
like
look like
thinking
clones. Even
That's
at the
what I
Carter
was
place.
thinking. I think the name should be Alex Clones. And this is a whole idea that I've had. Hold on. I have to find the new picture of him because he looks like Jimmy from Boardwalk Empire, whoever
But
the actor is.
everyone, even at the Carter, the funeral, the bushes, those weren't the bushes. Those aren't the real bushes. Something's strange, a mist.
Something strange in the movie, like they've replaced some of the lead characters.
Oh, for sure.
That's what it feels like.
For sure.
I can't find a picture.
We're the only
Come
ones
on.
in that row. Like everybody else is behind them.
The TED talk of the lady and the CIA and the bodysuits and the
can't find that
face
picture.
suits and voice changing technology. It's all there.
What about them calling Kamala Madam President when she was whatever the election, when she was like whatever the word is, validating the election
Oh,
results?
that was awesome. The guy Johnson, what's his name? Johns? No.
How loud and long they were clapping when all the states said she
But his
lost and she had to stand.
His face behind her. What was that guy's name? Johnson, right?
Yeah, Mike Johnson.
Yeah, it's Johnson. Johnson. Anyway, his face, like just that smirk was just everything. But I don't like that guy. It was just fucking hilarious to watch.
You guys, the like to get this up, the platform I have to use isn't the same as my favorite Google search engine. I just can't find it. And I could just go on X right now, but because we're also streaming to X, I don't want it to do anything weird from
Yeah.
restream. So next time, you guys will
Shout
have to
out-
go look out Alex Clone yourself.
Shout out to all the ex viewers.
Yeah, shout
I
out
don't
to
see
X.
it,
We
but
will be hanging out there
Yeah, we will.
and running a few spaces on different weird
Yes.
shit
Yeah,
that I want to talk to you about.
that's a
Abby,
great
are you still good to hang out with us?
For like a few more minutes.
Okay.
You gotta go to bed
Yay!
soon.
Oh,
pack
you have to
some more
go
We
to
don't
bed.
want you to go.
I know. Don't
know.
leave. Don't
I-
leave.
I don't want to deal with moving,
I feel
but
you
it's
on
got to
that.
be done.
I feel you on that.
I know. Moving is one of those bullshit things. They actually say like moving is one of the 3 hardest things for a relationship to go through. They say like moving, death, and having a baby.
Good thing I'm gonna
Death
be
is
single.
the worst, I would say.
Abby's gonna be single. We'll have to
Especially-
have an online housewarming party. I do want to plan all that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
For a Sunday night once you get all set up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could cut it early too, Layla, if you
Yeah.
want to tonight.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, well, we can hang out for a few more minutes. We can kiki for a few more
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave right
but
now. We're just saying, like,
We're
if
not.
she
We're just
leaves,
saying we're prepping.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a drug trip a
don't
little
go
bit.
anywhere.
Yeah, like where it's
All
just
right.
like, oh no, Abby's gonna
Don't
leave.
fucking
Our
leave, all
acid
right?
trip is gonna be over.
Put your ass
Oh,
right there.
no.
You're not leaving.
Sorry.
You're not going anywhere. All right? I said so. Staying right there. Thank you very much.
So do you have? It's like we didn't want to do predictions and everything, but it just seems like in the amp up we are going to have more false flags. I was wondering it's like this unprecedented blizzard apocalypse is going across America too. All these places are getting snow that don't typically get a ton of snow, and so it makes
We
me.
did.
To
I feel like
me,
we
I
haven't
always
had
thought it
snow
was
in, like-
scarier if you guys lose power in the snow than if we lost it in Florida in the summer.
Yeah. The only good thing about losing power in the snow would be that your food wouldn't go bad. You could, like, if there's snow, you could actually take everything from your freezer and put it outside and you'd be okay. But,
But
like,
how many days? Like if you went
for
without power, like that's what I mean. Like if something happens to the
'cause it's
grid,
really not even snow, it's the, like, ice storms. Because 'cause there'll be ice storms. It's happened here where the ice is, like, it'll take down all the power lines because it's so heavy on the power lines, and they'll all snap and everything. So it's happened before, and, my old house had a wood burning stove, so it's fine. You could just, kinda cook on top of your wood burning stove and keep your house warm. Everybody just kinda sleeps out in the living room, but I don't have one here, so but if you have a gas grill, you could still cook. That would be the good news, but you probably wanna find somebody who has a fireplace or wood burning stove.
but it seems like however much food that you have prepped, let's say, how many weeks does that exist?
Here, I mean, everyone
You're
has,
good
like
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone here has probably, like, 2 deep freezes, not
Oklahoma's
just
set.
1. They're like, "This one's all pork, and this one's all,
Yeah, it's
beef,"
all
and
organized.
yeah, so
They're like, this is just
you're not gonna
venison
go
jerky.
hungry.
This
Yeah,
is just because Claude made venison jerky back in
exactly.
2004, but this stuff never goes bad. This is the best venison jerky you are ever gonna have.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna let you go hungry here.
Oh, we got pickled eggs and pickled pig's feet in the basement
Yep, all of it.
if you have to go full pickled. But yeah,
I like pickles.
prep.
Pickles are good.
Mhm.
I think prep is good.
I've been watching people like recently get into this trend of eating pickled watermelon, and I'm like, what the fuck? Watermelon, like actually like pickled, like
Watermelon, I will
Pickled?
take it and like
Smoothie?
I'll pickle the eggs. or eggs. I'll pickle the onions, and
Uh-huh.
then all the juice from the pickled onions, like the apple cider vinegar and sugar or whatever you have it in. And then if you put that on watermelon with like feta cheese, you'll get down. That'll be your jam for like, you'll be like, oh, this must spring salad, girl. I only eat this. But you
Well, a
have
lot
to
of
pickle the
people like,
onions.
because a lot of people like, what's it called? Watermelon with salt on it too.
Yeah, like that
I've never
Mexican
had it,
chili
but
powder.
yeah,
Shut your
like
grill.
tahini. Yep.
That's good
But
shit.
they usually pickle the rinds of watermelon, so it's pickled watermelon rinds.
So, yeah, I do think that at least the immediate administration, whatever it's worth, seems like they are like, we're going to help Southern California
Maybe
because we have
slutty.
a lot of listeners and stuff in SoCal. And it's scary when all this shit, I just, we deal with water here. And
Mhm.
where I'm at, one of the scariest elements is like thinking that the ocean could just be your outside. Like you just go outside and now it's just open ocean. That's like such a fire is equivalently scary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I lived on the West Coast. It is scary. It's like even if it's like, I don't know, 30 miles from you, it's like the quality of the air. Kids can't go outside and play. You can barely walk outside. You'll be hoarse walking around. Like,
uh-huh.
it's
And
so
how
bad.
quickly 30 miles with
It
the
could
right
it could be
winds.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you see a lot of these videos and it is really that way is people you're in the car and you cannot be it's not cuz it's like the traffic's not moving faster than the fire's moving.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I don't know, kind of traumatized. What do you feel about privatizing fire departments? Like you and your family being able to afford a private fire department to come in, or what do you think about people just having private fire departments?
Oh, I'm sorry. Repeat that. I was reading the comments. I see you, Dark Star. Repeat that. I'm
I
sorry,
don't
babe.
know. What do you think? Do you think it's just then it becomes like just money, private fire departments like the
Oh,
Kardashians being like, we're gonna hire our own fire department to protect our house, or Oprah in Maui being like, oh, I paid for my own fire department to protect
huh.
my property.
I don't
Do
Huh.
you think
know.
that's bullshit?
Yeah.
I hate the idea of them taking away good firefighters.
But at the same time, I mean, we have like groups of cultures like in New York City who have their own fire department, their police department, their own hospitals, their own schools. And it's on Church Avenue and up on Alphabet Avenue in Brooklyn. Everybody knows what I'm
Well,
talking about.
doesn't it also seem like with a lot of other cultures,
Hmm.
they had these same gangs trying to take care of their communities separately, but they got separated from, and they weren't called religious groups. They were just called gangs. And then they were almost put like a terrorist watch list if you were a gang member. So really all those things started out as like, before people were like, I'm going to bring drugs in. That's all CIA anyway. We know all Freeway, Ricky Ross and all that bullshit. So it's like, before the all drugs and bling bling, there was some part of like, you're not going to fleece my neighborhood. You're not going to take advantage of my neighborhood. Kids are going to be able to play out here and not get hurt. Women are going to be able to walk home at night and not get hurt. The old lady's not getting mugged at the, deli. Like, this is our neighborhood. And so that used to be a thing until they like push drugs into those gangs and money becomes a whole thing. And now, but a lot of those neighborhood watch groups and things just started out, and they might have been the Italians and the Irish and the Jews and the blacks and the whatever they want to say. But all those people were like, they're coming in here and taking our kids.
Hmm.
They're coming in here jimmy
Dude.
jabbying our kids.
Yeah.
And so I feel like all of those groups, they had to be demonized the same way they're doing right now, that it's going to become a lockstep, tink, 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 where they want Iranian terrorists and patriot terrorists to blend in your head the exact same way they tried to make Iraq and Afghanistan the same place.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're just trying to make it
And they're
all blend in your
totally
head.
two different places.
And that's very Alex Jones to be like, they're
Yeah.
going to call patriot terrorists. But that
Yeah.
is really what's happening. They're just going to do both things. They want you to be like so scared as the normal person that there's some scary redneck that's gonna rape me on one side, and there's an Iranian drone that's gonna blow up on the other.
Yeah. I mean, people who live in Iran actually have a really good life. Not considering the places where like because Iran is huge, but not considering the places that are like, against women and make them cover. Because not all of Iran is like that. It's certain like parts of Iran that are like that, and it's all Hadith based like ruling. So it's not even Quran based. It's all Hadith based. So, um, yeah, a lot of people that I've even seen in spaces and like heard, people want to actually move there because of the way that it's set up for you to live. It's just like wonderful. Um, People get paid to live,
How we
you
have
have
like Republicans, Democrats, isn't like Sunnis and Shiites, and like there's different like the same way
sects.
factions and communities, sects
Mhm,
and things that are all
mhm,
like not everything's just the same thing. It
mhm.
would be like saying Alabama's the same as California.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone has their own version of how Islam should be practiced. They have the Sunnis, the Shias, the Sufis, the mystics, it goes on and on. There's over like 73 of them. So there's some that even like
I don't
beat
want to get
themselves.
involved in the New World Order though. Like I ain't trying to play. Like I just want everyone everywhere to be its own thing.
Or one world
Every
religion,
person to be their own thing. Like even there's things like I don't know. That's a whole big
I don't
concept.
want to
We won't.
participate in the New World Order, but I have to participate because I'm participating in the crypto world. I'm thinking about like ways that like I can play in the matrix, but so I can also benefit my life to not play in the matrix at the same time.
But don't you think a lot of the crypto, this is like one of the big things I've like changed my mind about so much is that it's not all the same.
That's true.
It's like saying like this dollar bill's the same as this gold shekel. Like that's not the same currency. I mean, maybe we want to trade it the same, but that's kind of the same what we're learning online now with some of these cryptos is they're not all the same. And it leads me to my other question. Have you seen everything coming out about the Silk Road and how Bitcoin, everybody was like, oh shit, you guys, BlackRock's not buying Bitcoin. They're selling it. And
I,
we've been talking about here the Bitcoin rug pull.
yeah.
I just
Uh,
think it's curious.
I want to comment on someone. It's not a sect when like let's say I really truly believe in practicing my religion. If I want to truly practice my religion, God is all knowing. He even mentions in the Quran about how people will believe in hadiths. That's how all knowing God is. So if you want to properly practice Islam, you go by what God sent and not go by what your parents' traditions were. So if you want to think people who believe in just the Quran is a sect, go ahead, believe it. But that's what the prophet's mission was to send the Quran and the Quran only. But if you want to worship the prophet, go right ahead and make him your idol. God bless you.
Every show, Layla's gonna do that. Every
Like literally,
show.
fuck the hadiths. Like I'm gonna say it over and over again. Believing in shit that was created 200 years after the fucking prophet died. It was a man. He died. Okay, stop worshiping him, like literally. But make fun of the Christians for worshiping Jesus, right? Y'all are doing the same fucking thing. Critics over here. Just calling it out.
What do you think, Abbie?
I'm changing the subject to the 51 states of it all.
Do it.
Okay.
Why the hell would Greenland or Canada be the 51st state? Like, what the fuck is up with not making Puerto Rico the actual 51st state?
Why I feel like this. This is how I felt about the bathroom argument, where people are like, "Oh, there should be extra, women should be allowed in the men's room and whatever and the whole thing." I'm like, "How about there's a whole bunch of separate bathrooms and I don't want to be in an open ladies room with a stall being my protection anymore. I don't
I
even
really don't
care
either.
about
Yeah.
this has been for always." I don't
Yeah.
know if this isn't has nothing to do with a trans person in the bathroom. This is for always. I always like there's been creepy bathrooms that I'm like at this rest stop, this little latch. It is keeping me safe. Like, what are we even up to here? This is crazy. So I'm like, there should just be all separate bathrooms, like all single separate bathroom. I don't care what you're doing in there. I don't care what you want to
Single
call
door.
yourself. You want to be a unicorn, be a unicorn. I don't want to be next to you in a stall. I don't care whether you have a dick or a vagina. If you're a Looney Tunes, I don't want to. Like, I don't know what you're doing in there. Maybe you're sitting on your hands. Like, maybe you're wiping with your hands. I don't know, but I don't want to know. Maybe you're wiping with your horse tail that you have stuck up your butt. I don't want to know what kind of thing. So, what was the original thing that you were talking about, Abbie?
51
Oh,
states.
Puerto
Oh,
Rico.
the 51 states and the Puerto Rico and the whole like, no, don't make me argue. How about this? How about I don't want a federal government? How about I want to be Greenland? How about Florida? We want to be our own thing.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing, Americans. I think it'll be a real hard pill.
Sovereignty.
Everybody's like Canada and the crown and Greenland and the crown and all this in the crown. Where do you think all of our money goes, you guys? We
To
are
the
the crown. We are the crown. And so it's like when people talk about, guess what? Everybody's like, oh, because everything's the Jews. They had to sign a declaration with who to get that whole thing going? When everyone talks about the Balfour declaration or agreement
The
and whatever, when
crown.
the crown, it's always been with this crazy. And I think that's the like where it's like the Holy Roman Empire. And then you see Elizabeth go up against the Pope. And then she's like, guess what? Like almost like in that Chinese way of like, we're going to own the incarnate of the Dalai Lama.
Marxism.
She's like, I'm higher. It's God than me. The church doesn't need to be here with this agreement anymore. And
Yeah.
so it's just like that's how the first Elizabeth, which probably it was a man. Like, I don't know. I just think there's so many crazy things that go on. And right with that Elizabethan thing. And then that's where you have this whole Shakespearean King James rewrite where you always talk about the hadiths, but then there's a whole King James rewrite. And then the Catholic Church heads up all the things, but then goes on with who they all have to be after the Nazis. We got to take the Nazis now. We got to take the Hitler. Who ends up with all those relics? Who ends up with all that technology? Who ends up, because it's not just America. Like, I don't know. I just think like there's a whole lot more going on. So I
Yeah.
just think maybe instead of worrying so much about Canada being the 51st state, you should start saying, do we still answer to the goddamn crown?
It's, they have taken what we all have known to be like a thing, God. We all knew a God was real. We all believed in whatever gods it was, but we all believed in an entity that created something. And all of a sudden, they took that idea that people believed in this entity that we're all spiritual and we're doing all these rituals or whatever you want to call them, pagans. Then they created a system, and that's the fucking Abrahamic system. Whoever that was, whoever they fucking thought they were, they created that system, and that was ancient Marxism, and they're using that same system today to control you through God. They use it so well to play on your emotional strings, to cause divide, to cause division, conquer us, and control us. But we need books to believe in God. Okay, very nice. Man-made things to believe in God. Okay, very good. To be controlled. Why? I don't get it. I
What's
don't
England
understand.
produce for the world? Do they have like trees? They got oil. They got gold, silver.
What
Like
have they produced?
What is their?
They have parrots. I know that.
And
I
wait a
know
minute.
maybe it's a big energy tower, like
Isn't England and
a
London?
Zeppelin charge.
Isn't there like some kind of weird thing where like
Oh, wait,
London
that's
is not
Paris.
owned by
That's
the
in Paris,
church,
France.
and it's like a separate entity from the church?
Well, then
London or
there's the
something?
city of London.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, the city of London, I believe people say is like the financial part of like where one of the pillars are. So people will be like the Vatican has one of the Horus dicks or whatever. Is it Horus's dick, Abbie? Or like they say like some pharaoh, whatever, the monoliths. DC has one of the monoliths. And so I think that's like the military arm. And then the Vatican is like the religion. But yeah, I think the city of London is the financial arm, and it's different than the real London.
Wild.
Mm.
So weird how that works.
Yeah.
Man, we should get into ley lines again. I want to do some more research on ley lines because I feel like that is such a true thing. Because I've seen like all the dreams that I've had of
This
like
is
growing
true.
up.
Shout out to fucking Stilton Blue Cheese.
Huh?
Y'all, if you're a blue cheese fan or if you like blue cheese dressing or any of that kind of stuff, Stilton Blue, that's what they've produced. Okay. They can stay. They can stay. They
But
can stay
yeah,
in my new world order. That
but yeah, ley lines. I feel like that is such a true fucking magic Layla lines. um because all the dreams that I've had that I wanted as a kid has all been happening to me ever since I fucking moved. Ever since I moved, everything that I've ever dreamed about, it's like boom, like some kind of portal opened, like I'm on this like special ley line or degree or whatever you want to fucking call it in this matrix, this grid per se, and everything's happening for me exactly how I want it to happen. Not all of it, but it's all gonna happen for me. So far, check, 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 check.
I had a ley
So
line dream too, but it ended up being my subconscious giving me a whole bunch of puns for getting laid because I was,
guys,
yeah.
what the fuck?
what
I
did
mean,
you is there a 69?
oh, there was anal sex in it. It was like, it was a
69's
whole bunch.
overrated.
Yeah. But I mean,
I just
I read it on the
69 is
one-on-one
as
podcast.
overrated as showering with somebody.
Where'd
Oh,
you
it's
read it
so overrated.
or hear it?
Oh, it's a
Sorry.
dream I had. I actually read it on the one-on-one
Oh, read
podcast
it.
to give it an example of dream interpretation and why it's important to write down your dreams because sometimes like ley lines you're like, "Oh, that's so cool," because it's like I was sticking my arm in this ley line and then it was disappearing and stuff like that. But I had all these other words like in the way that I described it that you could tell it was like literally my body just saying, "Hey, you probably need an orgasm." Like
Abbie, what movie do you think tells us maybe about the city of London truth in plain sight?
yeah,
Where would you
I
keep
don't know.
your shekels in the bank or feed the birds the toppings of bag?
Oh, Mary Poppins.
Isn't it interesting? Like where they're all telling us about suffrage, and then they go in, and the kid doesn't want to give his money to the banker. He wants to feed the birds,
Yeah.
and how all the old men chase him, and they're like, "You can have interest, and your money will be safely in the bank." And I bet it's like those were meant to represent like the Rothschilds.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mary
For sure.
Poppins. Mary Poppins.
Eh.
Mary Poppins on the timeline, you guys, because you know what this
Just a
the winds might blow
spoonful of
in.
sugar helps the
Yeah,
medicine
if
come down.
Hollywood is extra windy, maybe somebody will have an umbrella and Mary Poppins will
The
blow in.
bird flu. Oh my god, another pandemic. And y'all are gonna fucking fall for it again. With your
I don't think they
spoonful of
will.
sugar.
I don't think they will.
Feels like none of them are
I
getting off
don't
the
know.
floor.
I don't know about that. There's
don't
some
know.
fucking idiots who still drive around with a fucking mask in their car.
Well, those people,
I
4 to
know.
6% can never be saved, but we just move on. Like everybody has to keep evolving in the way they're supposed to evolve because you never know what thing you're the 100th monkey on. You never know. Like sometimes I think like when I used to say I was practicing patience all the time until some old lady said, "Honey, stop telling God you're practicing patience so he's going to keep giving you homework." And I was like, noted. I'm never saying it
Yeah.
again.
No, I know, right? 'Cause it's like you don't
Yeah.
get patience just by wanting patience. You get patience by learning to be patient, by putting in it's just like you don't get wisdom
But even just stating it
without
all the time, I'm practicing patience. I'm practicing patience. I'm practicing patience. Like, why? Just stop saying it. Just start saying you're patient,
Yeah.
even if you
Yeah.
just have to repeat it to yourself inside your brain. Sometimes I have to say to myself for real, don't take this personal. Like,
Yeah.
instead of getting heated up, so many things in life. It doesn't matter if somebody's driving bad. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's a friend exactly at me where I'm like, this is an energy directed toward me and I want to bounce back so bad and so much now. I'm like, I don't need to take this personal. This is not about me right now. I don't know. I think that it's so much in life. at my existence IRL in the real world. I'm like, I'm not going to take this personal. Let me LARP harder. So anyway, what were we talking about? Are you guys texting each other?
Oh
No,
no, I was reading my dream. Like, so
I'm
I can
texting the
remember all those
big,
words that I had said.
the
Like, I
big.
was doing all these things by the ley line, and then um I hear banging noises, the word banging, and then I'm looking up in the sky and I see like what looks like a penis-shaped rocket that Jeff Bezos had, and it's like drilling into the earth. So, penis-shaped rocket, the Jeff Bezos
Mushroom.
rocket, but then it's drilling into the earth. Like all these ideas that it was like they're all sex-related words, and it's like that's why like your subconscious will play word games like that with you, like where it's like trying to tell you in every way it can tell you.
KB, like abs, do you have a different? This is actually something that you can like where we would have debates about it sometimes. It's funny that it's in this question, but I feel like there's different layers of not everything's necessarily a dream, but do you have a way for differentiating your various dreams as to that dream is speaking to or about from subconscious, a past life memory, a premonition, or a message to somebody else, etc.?
Well, the key to figuring that out is to journal. You have to write it down. And then you have to look at the words that you're using to describe it, because the words that you describe it in are like the most important thing. And your subconscious, like when I say subconscious, your subconscious is your body. Like your body doesn't have words. That's what your mind does. So your body has to use symbols. So it uses symbols and pictures and sounds and whatever, but it uses metaphor. So a lot of the time it's your body telling you things, like it's telling you like things you need to heal, memories that it might not even be the memory, but it's leading you into the direction of the memory that you have like trapped the emotion in your body. So it's telling you what you have to heal so that way you can heal your body. So a lot of it is that, but it's not all that. I mean, I had a dream one day that I walked by this tree and there was like 3 birds in a hole. And literally later that day I walked by this tree and there's 3 birds in the hole. So it was a prophetic dream, but it really was like had no significance. It was just like, oh yeah, I dreamt that earlier and I had even written it down. So, I had evidence that it was there. So it just it comes down to you got to start by keeping track of what you're dreaming and writing it right when you wake up.
You know what? I'm loving more and more the what's it called? The sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
I'm loving those experiences more than like fearing them.
I thought it
And
was
the
really
more I'm
cool.
loving them, the more interesting they're becoming and not scary. And they're not demon like anymore. Because that when you have that fear in it, it's like you turning whatever that situation is into a bad thing, like demonic, because we're fed like, oh, it's a demon. But once you start like not fearing it and actually like loving the experience and trying to control the experience, it's a whole other fucking experience. Let me
I'm
tell
so
you.
sorry. Somebody wrote Abby Luther King had a dream. Three Eyes wrote it. And I just
Hey.
had a vision of Abby
You guys
having a
is being
podcast
weird tonight and
called
saying weird things.
I Had a Dream. And then like all the wrong people tuning in, like, what the fuck did I tune
This white
into?
lady?
Talking about her actual dreams.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. You think they're weird tonight? Our chat is?
No, Three Eyes has been a little. He said he's been saying some
He's a
stuff
little trolly.
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes I love him. Sometimes I'm like, what? What are you saying? You're being mean.
When I write my
Sometimes I
dreams in the
love
morning, I
sometimes I
do
hate
it
'em.
in
But
my
we still love you,
phone.
Three Eyes, no matter what.
I just use the notes app in my phone, and sometimes I will do just short statements, and then I go back and fill it in later, and then it just depends, and sometimes I'll do, speech to text, so that way I don't have to
I think that's
fill
a
it
good
in.
thing. And I think also speech to text, I think it's a good tool to use your phone. But everybody, start journaling more, start putting stuff in the real world. And then even if you meme it, even if you do other stuff with it, I just think it makes it more powerful. Like we're losing something about the written word. And if every single thing about them is somehow shutting us off and brainwashing us, then we should go backward and we should cursive. We should stick shift. We should,
Automatic writing. Do
yeah,
it.
we should
Don't
maybe
even
have record
journal.
players,
Automatic writing.
like all the stuff. But no, whatever. I just
Yeah.
think writing down your thoughts. I don't know. Sometimes automatic writing, I feel about it a little like transcendental meditation. It's
Mhm.
you're not necessarily supposed to think of nothing. That is,
Yeah.
it's like a weird, it's
Think
like
about
something
everything.
Not
else can
always.
jump in there.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like to be aware of your thoughts and like be the entity that's listening to the thoughts and then trying to tap into that space where you're the actual observer of your thoughts and tapping into that. That's when I like the automatic writing. When I do it, I rarely do it, but when I do and I want to do it, because my brother mentions like, oh, you should do some automatic writing. I'm like, oh fuck. But yeah, that's when I get my thoughts out, when I tap into that part of me, like me.
A lot of the times when you're like have your thing of whatever where you're like writing like that, other people would just call that what you're describing like flow state.
Mm,
And not to mince words about it like
mm.
at all. But then there's an automatic thing where people just let like you just start scribbling and letting like almost like a Ouija board with your hand.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought you were talking about. Like
Mm.
I thought you were like
There's that where you can do that, and like how some people like when they, I guess, have premonitions or whatever, they're drawing like automatic writing, but they're not writing anything. They're just writing a circle, and they just keep writing and scribble and scribble and scribble and scribble, and they start seeing things, and they keep doing that whole spiral, I guess. And that spiral symbol is everywhere in history. It's like the whole vortex of it all, and just writing in
but
that.
that's kind of what Abbie's saying about the Fibonacci spiral is that
Yeah.
it's like kind of making you go in like it's not the Ouroboros. It's there
Yeah.
it's trying to like cut you. It's trying to like finite you. It's almost
Yeah.
trying to force a
Fi-
singularity
finite.
or something.
Yes, it's the finite death spiral is what it's called. Like that's what they call it. Is the finite death spiral because it's not infinite. Like the base 12 Christo spiral is the infinite life. Like
I don't know. I think
I want to live infinitely.
that it is weird that somebody said or a message maybe for somebody else. I think a lot of the times when people have one of the kinesis, because there's so many of the like
yeah.
different, things. The message isn't always for them, and that's the confusing part.
Well, that's when you have the urge to tell the person. So
Sometimes you have to.
you do. I called my sister one day and I was like, I just had this dream and my mother is dead. So I was like, Mom came to me and she said that you were offered a job and she said that she highly encourages you not to take it. And she goes, oh my God. She's like, the school just called and asked me if I wanted to come back to work for them, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I was really thinking about taking it, but you just told me that. And so I had no idea. I hadn't talked to her for like 6 months, but I dreamt about her. My mom gave me a message for her, so I just told her. And it's what she needed to hear. She didn't take the job.
You guys, I'm deciding it right now. Hills Has Eyes has a great idea. So you guys know the Secret Society of Good Guys, our secret language, cursive. Just so you
I
guys know,
taught
you heard it
cursive
here.
for 3
People are going to
years.
be like, oh my gosh, you just told them the secret language. It's okay. The computer cannot read cursive. This is perfect.
Woot, woot.
It's all about the computer. I don't care what the humans know.
Yeah.
So far, the computer cannot deal with curves. It needs the straight lines more. Like the curves fuck it up. And here's the other thing. Layla has a different font than me. You have a different font. We all have a different font for every letter. Sometimes Mad Layla has a different font than herself. So it's just like sometimes Working Layla has a different font than both of those.
Yeah.
And so I think that yeah, you're like chicken scratch on your thing. Like
Fucking yeah. Then my
I
neat
feel you.
and patient writing is just so
Oh my gosh.
immaculate.
Or if you're in hearts with somebody different than a business, if you're writing,
Mhm.
I don't know. So I just, the amount of fonts that we
I
have
love
is,
writing sometimes
yeah, the
until my fucking
Rockefeller.
hand starts to hurt.
Riggs, they're teaching cursive in schools again, at least in Oklahoma. It's part of our state standards. So,
Oh, nice.
Well,
yeah.
Oklahoma is on the curve or like on
Lord.
the good side. They're
No,
doing good
but then
shit.
they're like,
Oklahoma gets no cred.
yeah,
Mhm.
they don't. They're like, if they're 49th in education, well, I'm sorry, but these kids are fucking learning real skills.
You know
Like,
what? They're like, we're going to show you
my kid's
guys.
an electrician. He did 2 years of electrician school in high school. He's an electrician now at 18, like making
They're like, we're
pretty
going to
damn good
show
money.
you guys what Oklahoma's okay means. And we're like, Oklahoma's okay. That's bullshit. We're like, this place is awesome, but you're not always going to be awesome now, are you? But
No,
Oklahoma's always going to be okay.
it's always gonna be okay.
Now it matters. It's almost the same as saying, what the fuck, make America great again? When was it ever great? Now I get it. I get
Yeah.
it now. And
Now
so it's like, Oklahoma's okay. Oh shit. Oklahoma's okay.
We always gonna be okay. We
you
okay.
know,
Big up
talking about
Okie.
like writing and stuff, like now imagine like we know how we write. Now imagine have to write in like Chinese or Korean or like Arabic. Like they're fucking hard. Like
Sanskrit.
yeah, like imagine having to write like essays in that language with all these fucking characters and ta 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 ta. That's just fucking. We're
Could
so
you imagine the
basic.
keyboards?
We're basic bees.
We're fucking basic, yo.
There is some very pretty writings, but sometimes I'm like, that just made my head do a thing.
hmm
Like that's
Like
too much.
when I look at Arabic, I'm like, wow, it's such a beautiful like
Sometimes I
way.
feel like languages for real,
Mm,
we'll be like, I'm gonna go to the store. And that's how we say it. And other languages will be like blah 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 blah
uh-huh,
blah 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 blah. And they just said
mhm.
the same fucking sentence. It's like there's a lot of fat cut out of the English language, but this is what I've heard. The English language is not one of the hardest to learn.
No,
But we have one of the hardest slangs to learn. Like our slangs all over the world, but I'm like, "Oh, don't take that personal." Like I feel like most Americans don't get the slang half the
Yeah.
time until you're
hmm
like, "Oh shit.
hmm
Wait, what's that mean?
That's base."
I was grilling that bitch.
Urban
You
Dictionary?
like you what? You were grilling that bitch like you were like cooking her? Like no, I was like fucking grilling her. Like oh okay, like stupid shit like that.
And some of the old words feel like they're coming back. Like if I said that like, "I was grilling this young woman, see?" It would be like, "Oh, I know exactly what you mean by that."
Mhm.
I don't know, you might be
See?
like, "That
Mama
New
Maria
Englander."
in the house.
"Oh, hey,
Shout out
boo.
Mama Maria.
Hey, boo."
Well, everyone, I think I'm gonna call it a night because I got a big date tomorrow or later today.
Oh, kid
You
told
sound
you.
like you said you had a big date,
Yeah,
but you
that's what it
do.
sounded like for a
It's
Moving
like
second.
date.
Whoop,
and
whoop.
I was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, big day tomorrow."
I could be on
Yeah.
a date, but I don't want to be on a date.
And
I don't wanna move furniture.
it's awesome. You're starting your new life.
I am.
You've done all the things to have a place of your own. You should put on Mary Poppins when you get there.
Just a spoonful of sugar.
Yeah, or all the things that she, like where all the toys jump into the thing.
The
Yeah.
job's a game. Yeah.
Anyways,
Ooh, excuse
all
me.
right, you guys, you're so fucking awesome. Thank you
Love
for
y'all.
listening. If you feel like hitting the thumbs up on the way out, and for the 240 people on Rumble, on X, on either of the YouTubes. Thank you so much for listening. We love you, and make sure you turn down your volume because Juliette Lewis
You
tends to
save
get
us,
loud.
Brittany. Can we be saved? I love you guys.
Love you so much. Talk to you soon. XOXO Gossip Girl. Bye bye.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing rule. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracies, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing rule. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracies, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.